Skyscanner. Maddie, why is it important?
You find all the cheapest deals and the cheapest flights and gives you a whole bunch of different options. It's a great website.
And you travel all the time. You just got back from London.
Yeah.
And you use Skyscanner.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it gives you the best deals, and it gives you a bunch of websites you can look at and choose from, and it has ratings on each website, so make sure you don't get scammed.
Now, there is a big tourney happening in North America where you kick a ball with your foot on grass. Not sure if you've heard of this.
I don't know what this is.
Anyway, they have the new football flight finder on Skyscanner. So the tool is easiest as a starting point for planning. It funnels fans directly into their travel options at all the 2026 host cities for the big tournament next summer. And obviously, we know that there are a lot of cities available, a lot of places you can go. And you could actually, because the prices are so cheap, you can find yourself in a couple different cities. So don't waste time searching everywhere. Be the smart fan like Maddie and start planning your trip right now. Go to Skyscanner's dedicated football flight finder URL. That is skyscanner.ca/football-flight-finder, or just click the link in the description because it's there, and set your price alerts. Lock in your trip to the biggest games of 2026.
The Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse
Hey,
Blake.
Jesse, can you bring up that picture I sent you?
Yes, I can.
I want you to look at this picture. I want you to absorb this picture. I want you to soak this picture in. And then I want you to follow it up with Adam Wilde. You're a genius. You're a genius, Adam Wilde. Because it is potentially the most devastating photo for one NHL team other than the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Interesting.
It's crazy. Because listen, most devastating photos in NHL history, snapshots, belong to the Toronto Maple Leafs. And we're usually, and what I mean by that is we're on the losing side of it, right?
I always get sent the Reimer one from 2013.
Yeah.
Mitch crying in the penalty box in 2021. Yeah, there's lots of them.
If I were to show you that the Pittsburgh Penguins were up 3-2 with 10.1 seconds to go in this game, and then tell you that Anaheim won this game.
With the puck going behind Anaheim's net.
And did you notice too, Steve? Do you notice underneath Pitt? What does it say?
Oh, power play.
So the
Their
Penguins...
goalie's still in.
Yeah, Husso got off the ice. So this is, and I've got the actual highlight. So Jesse, if you want to pull the highlight up, you got to see how this happens. 10 seconds to go. The puck is in their own in the Anaheim zone. Anaheim is already down a man. They're trying to tie up the game.
Right.
So when Ville Husso leaves the net, he's only bringing the play to 5-on-5.
Right.
That's it.
That's it.
So what happens then? And this is where you get Toronto Maple Leafs level of, oh my God, come on.
That is the Penguins folding like a cheap suit. Now, not to make it about the Leafs, but remember last year, something like 5 seconds left in the period, offensive zone faceoff for Pittsburgh ends in Matthew Nye scoring before the end of the period.
Right. I forgot about that.
So these guys have mega brain fart moments on D.
And it's not gone well for Pittsburgh outside of October of this year.
No.
So
We've been polite enough to not bring it up that much.
we have. Because I felt like, listen.
And by we, I mean you.
They had a good first month.
Yes.
And they deserve all the credit for that, and I gave them credit for that. But there's a couple of teams we'll be discussing in this episode that have kind of fallen back to earth a little bit. And one of them is the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now, going back to that shot, are we ready to go, Jess?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's throw it back on screen. So this is roughly the same spot. I showed you 10.1. This is 10.2. And obviously, the Ducks defenseman is going to grab this puck. I believe that's Jackson Lacombe. And he gets the puck up as he...
4.2 seconds to go. The Ducks have not entered the zone yet.
And Beckett Seneca is carrying that puck. And there are two options for him to pass to once he crosses the blue line. And the best part about this is he takes 0 of them. And he is gapped up on perfectly by the Pittsburgh defense, but is still able to split Letang. And what's crazy about this is even Erik Karlsson is back, but it's the overhead that matters here. Because the light goes off, the goal goes in. The question is, does the goal go in before the time runs out? And second, how does the puck get in? Because Seneca really is just trying to pass the puck across the ice.
Oh, that's why I didn't see Karlsson. He's on the ice.
That's right. Okay. He is sliding. But what happens? Oh,
no!
He punches the puck through Artur Silov's 5-hole and into the back of the net just as the clock runs out. And the Ducks win this one in a shootout.
Oh, this was in Pittsburgh too.
Yes.
In Pittsburgh, he had 40 shots. You had the power play. The puck was in their zone. Yeah, sorry, no, that's got to be 2 points 100 times out of 100. Oh, dear.
By the way, the defenseman was Olin Zellweger. I got that wrong. But Beckett Seneca, fastest player in Ducks history to reach 25 points. The record was previously held by Mason McTavish. He's also the first rookie this season to hit 25 points. Fantasy
Crazy.
sleeper pickup. He's already on my team.
Yes.
That's an easy one.
Your team's just Ducks.
There's a lot of Ducks. I keep trying to trade for Cutter Gauthier, and I keep being rejected. Now, Jesse, if you are the Pittsburgh Penguins head coach after this one, you've been struggling, fluke play like that, is this a throw the sticks across the room and bash the Gatorade on the ground moment? Or is this one of those where you go, well, we are just the Penguins after all?
Yeah, the expectations on the Penguins coming into this season weren't that high. So them coming back down to earth, I don't think it should be a surprise. It's not something you're freaking out about. Obviously, you had a good start and you want to hold on to that. But the Penguins are kind of what they are right now, which is still in a playoff spot.
Yes.
Like if I'm Dan Muse, like it's not the end of the world because we're first wild card seed, which is nobody expected the Penguins to be in that position.
Which is why I lose my mind. Which I know my default is lose my mind. But hear me out. They're in a playoff spot. They had a high. They're in a low. The East is so tight that you could easily still make it. You could win the division for crying out loud. New Jersey's fallen faster than a comet, right? You could 100% end up in that spot. This is just taking a point and throwing it in the garbage. Throwing it into a volcano like the rings. You can't lose that game in that moment. You can lose that game in general. Mm-hmm. What's funny is they could have lost that game like 5-2 in regulation, and that would have been more acceptable than losing it 5-4 in the shootout.
Because that's frittering it away here.
You had 4 seconds to kill.
Yep.
The puck is in their end. You have a power play. How do you blow that? You can't. You cannot. No NHL team can be getting scored on in that scenario. Are you joking? And Anaheim has a guy coming on late to even it up at 5. Mm-hmm. Can't go in.
I was thinking about it, guys. The only thing Erik Karlsson needs to do in that scenario, I know he's fallen already. Let's say he's already on the ground. He doesn't need to touch the puck.
Right.
Just simply don't touch it.
Right.
Like with your hand. It's his hand that punches it in.
Even if it's a beautiful pass cross crease, there is not enough time to score. Oh, no.
That's rough.
That can't go in.
No. And I just thought that's how we start the show with just a wild kind of play from last night. Never to happen again this season, I don't think.
If I'm Dan Muse, like the thing I'm more upset about really is the overtime and shootout losses that the Penguins have had. I believe they have 0 OT and shootout wins and 7 losses.
Oh my God.
So there's a lot of points being left on the board there for the Penguins. And
you could argue they're better than their record shows.
yeah.
I think you would.
Yeah, because they can't win the fucking coin flip part of the game.
You would expect a team to be able to split it.
Yeah, it's. I think that's the part that they got to work on there with the Penguins.
Let me look at the
Colorado's
standings.
weirdly bad at it too.
Let me look at the standings.
That's strange.
So if the
It is weird.
Let's say the Pittsburgh Penguins, Jesse, had split their OTs, and it's not in their favor. So let's say they're 3-4 in overtime. Sure. That would give them 3 more points, right? Yes. Okay. So that would put them tied for second in the Metropolitan with the Carolina Hurricanes. Right now, they're first wild card team.
Crazy.
Absolutely crazy. And they have lost 2 overtime games in a row. They were on a 2 OTL streak. Which I've never
before
seen.
that, what did they win? Like 3 in a row before that? They've
Yeah.
actually got a lot of points left. And they do have 1 OT win. So my bad. Because they have 13 regulation wins. You can see it here. And then 14 regulation overtime wins. So they have 1 overtime win. And then, just a bunch of losses.
That's so weird.
There's
That's
a
weird.
lot of points left on the board there. They should be higher in the standings.
Especially with guys, like, I know they're older, but, like, you got Crosby and Malkin on your team. That's a pretty good
You
start.
got Sidney
Power play's
Crosby.
good.
Yeah.
How does
PK's
Sidney
not
Crosby
bad.
not figure out how to dominate 3-on-3 overtime?
Yeah. Erik Karlsson is your defenseman on 3-on-3 overtime.
Yeah.
You think you're okay? Should be okay.
That should be an all-star team.
I was about to say-
Malkin and Crosby.
Hey,
You want to throw out the three? Like
In 2012, it was.
I was about to say, check out what year it was. Now, the rules do not apply to Sid,
yeah.
so we know that. Maybe they apply to Eric. I don't know. You can't drop that game. That's one. Well, listen, Pittsburgh Penguins fans know the importance of 1 point in the standings. It changed the face of the league that they weren't able to make the playoffs in 2023. Completely.
Tell us why again.
Because they had, I think it was back-to-back games to end the season against the Blackhawks, who were lower than pond scum. They were, there's a reason they have Connor Bedard, and it's not because they were great. A team with nothing to play for versus the Penguins, who have everything to play for. And not only did they lose, they got their asses kicked by the Blackhawks. Remember, we played a game on this show. We were like, have you heard of the guys who scored for the Blackhawks last night? And it was like Mackenzie Entwistle.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. What was the name of the other guy? He was on the Ducks. Like, I don't even remember their names. Anyway, they missed the playoffs, and who made it instead? Florida.
Of course.
Florida, who did not control their own destiny, all of a sudden got that ability back. They make the playoffs. They make the Stanley Cup final by knocking off the best regular season team in NHL history, and then they win 2 straight cups after that. Changed the face of the league.
Do you want to hear from Dan Muse?
Yeah.
All right. Dan Muse, after the loss, devastating loss with 0.2 seconds left.
Last few seconds in the game-time goal. You went with your 2 most offensive-minded defensemen on that face-off. What was the strategy there, and what about the execution didn't you like in the last few seconds?
Both of those defensemen are out there on every situation. They're out there. They play 5-on-6. They're both guys that are using, defensive situations as well. Yeah, you get into a situation like that, you're gonna also, if you have possession, pressure is going to be coming. We feel like goal is to keep possession, and the goalie doesn't come out of the net. It didn't happen. So, and then on the play, we got it. We tried to make a play there. It ends up going in. They pulled the goalie, and they got space to get it to the net. And so, yeah, obviously, it can't happen. But that's the question being, for who was out on the ice. That's it. The line that was out there was the same line that was out there for a good chunk there of the 5-on-6 as well.
That is a coach very delicately and politically saying, my best guys fucked me. That's 100% what he's saying.
I think maybe he needs to reevaluate who he thinks his best guys are.
Well, so Carlson, it's funny. Carlson was getting cheeky a few weeks ago, going, "Oh, it turns out I can kill penalties." Ooh. And then this happens.
Well, I also want to say that, those guys are out there in all situations, not on purpose, though, Dan.
Their decor is awful.
It is. And you're happy for, hold on, let me have a look at their defense, right? Because I think they've had some surprises this year.
Yeah.
Like Kindle obviously has been a really good one, but he's a forward.
What's the guy's name? Shea?
Parker Witherspoon.
Oh, Witherspoon.
I wonder, listen, man, I know he stinks, but or he has not lived up to his contract. To say he stinks is
Wasn't
unfair.
he on the World Juniors?
But what about Ryan Graves? Did Ryan Graves stop a guy from entering the zone?
I would say Parker Witherspoon's very much living up to his contract. It's $1 million.
Oh, no, Parker Witherspoon's a good thing. I said,
okay.
no. I wasn't saying he wasn't living up to his contract. I said Ryan Graves is not living up to his contract. Parker Witherspoon's been really good.
Maybe
really good. What about Ryan Shea?
Oh, that's what. Is Dumba still in there?
No, well, Clifton was in last night.
Clifton. I think Dumba's hurt.
Well, the last thing they need is lesser Eric Carlson. Matt, what happened to Matt Dumba? Remember when he was on the Wild and everybody's like, man, this guy is so great.
Miles,
Holy.
man. Miles.
Is it Miles? Is that what it is?
Yeah, you lose a certain part of your game. Like, one thing we're forgetting is what was he, a 40, 50-point defenseman? It doesn't matter the points. He was like a 15-goal, 20-goal defenseman. The gap between that kind of defenseman and a guy who barely scores at all is not as big as you think. It's just not. And you lose
A little step.
5% of your speed or 5% of your lateral movement, or you have a hard time staying comfortable for a full 60 or whatever it is. Where'd that bomb of a shot go?
Yeah.
Matt Dumba's shot was a feared thing. Anyway, we're getting on a guy who wasn't even in the game. But all that to say,
I think
the Penguins are a museum back there, but they might be even better than their record shows, which is why
you might say that Dan was not amused by it.
Oh,
You know, I think I think Pittsburgh making the playoffs this year would be fun. I do think it would.
100%. I know no one believes me, but I want them to.
Mm-hmm.
I want Sidney Crosby in the playoffs.
Yes, that was why we were hoping they would trade him.
Yes. What if you're going to stink? Stop holding Sidney Crosby hostage.
Yeah.
The other option is don't stink, but we didn't mention that option as much because it didn't seem as likely.
It's the Ready, Set, Forward performance of the night, brought to you by F-150. Build out your Ford F-150 Tremor at ford.ca/F-150. Who wants to go first?
Me. I want to go first. He had 2 points last night. He's now the leading scorer among rookies. I'm going to go with Beckett Seneca.
What a jerk.
The reason I'm doing that is I'm positive that's the guy Adam picked.
You're wrong, but I'll wait till later. Jesse, who for you?
I am bussing with the boys. I am picking Brandon Bussey because he last night
Good pick.
became only the 5th goaltender of all time to have 9 wins in their first 10 NHL career games. Frank Breismick, who doesn't count because he played in 1938-39 season. We got to cut off these historic stats at a certain point because that does.
No, it's like baseball. Yeah, you want to reach back 150 years ago. Wow, it's like
baseball stats-
Mickey Mickerson, you know?
so ridiculous. When someone's like, "Oh, in 1874, this guy." What? That's not the same sport,
No, it's
people.
comparable.
Yeah, left
Direct
fielder
comparison.
Dinky Blinkman.
So Bob Fraze, Frederick Anderson, Igor Shesterkin, and now Brandon Bussey, NHL goaltenders with 9 wins in their first 10 career games.
Brandon Bussey, by
pretty
the
cool.
way, 27.
Actually,
He's made his NHL debut at 27
I didn't realize he
years
was that
old.
old.
Love a
And
late
he's won 9 of 10.
that's cool.
I remember talking about him on the show like 2-3 years ago. I'm like, this guy has good AHL numbers. Someone should give him a shot. And here he is with the Hurricanes.
Getting his
running it.
shot.
Getting his shot and doing a real good job.
Yeah, so shout out Brandon there.
You know, I love a late game comeback. It's always fun. I don't want the leads to be safe in the NHL. And this player not only scored their team's second goal, but also assisted on their team's late game comeback. And that would be Mitchell Marner of the Vegas Golden Knights set up Pavel Dorofeyev with at 19:46, 14 seconds left to go. Now, Vegas did lose in the shootout. And Marner did get help. He didn't score in the shootout.
He's had trouble.
He's not great in the shootout. I don't know why they keep putting him in it.
Yeah.
But anyway, long story short, he deserves a Ready, Set, Forward performance of the night because he is not getting the chances that he normally gets. People have been dogging him, and I get why, because his point total, it was going to be like 78 points that he was on pace for a couple weeks ago. He's playing his off wing. He's playing second line. This is not his team. They said it on TSN yesterday. It's true. I have to say, Mitch Marner, I'm impressed.
And that Dorofeyev goal at the end of the regulation there in the Vegas game, that is a part of history because the first time in NHL history, there's 4 game-tying goals in the last 15 seconds or less of regulation.
Oh, wow.
Seneca, who you mentioned, scored at 1959 in the Anaheim game.
Unreal.
Dorofeyev scored at the 1946 in the Vegas game. Connor McDavid scored at 1958, and then Cale Makar scored at 1952.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I love this. That's good for the league, by the way.
Yeah, dramatic comebacks with the net pulled and everything. It's cool. Good for the league.
Music to Gary's ears. You can't shut any game off.
Ford.ca/F150 to build out your Ford Tremor, your Ford F-150 Tremor. Hey, Steve, how'd you get to work today?
Train and Uber,
Why is that?
because I don't have a Ford F-150 Tremor.
I drove. Steve didn't. And we see the reason why. Now, there is another one that I'd like to talk about.
Okay.
There's another player I'd like to talk about, and I sent it through to Jess.
Mm-hmm.
It's time, folks, for Evan Bouchard Corner.
You know.
Now, I know you've seen this.
Yeah, it's hard to avoid.
And
He's can't miss.
He's unbelievable.
He's been, since his bad start, maybe the most elite offensive defenseman in the NHL.
Oh, he's incredible.
Top 5 on a bad day, like just racking up the points. I know his plus minus was in the plus, which is solid. But his misplays are so good.
It reminds
They're
me
so
of when
good.
Brian McCabe was a longtime Toronto Maple Leaf. Brian Leach called him the best defense partner he ever played with. But when
He was unbelievable.
Brian McCabe signed the first no movement clause that I could even remember anybody talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It was a 5-year deal. I think it was worth $25 million. And when the cap was $42 million, $5 million was a fortune.
The Leafs had 5 guys with no trades. And with the cap that low, like, I don't know how they took the ice.
Brian McCabe was a unbelievable scorer. That's how he got the contract. He got like 25 goals one year or something like that.
There was one season, I think it was it just before the lockout or just coming out? He was a top 5 offensive defenseman in the NHL and could hit.
And so just like with Evan Bouchard, who does not hit as much, I would say, his lowlights were awful. And his lowlights ended up running him out of town.
He scored on his own net in overtime.
Against Buffalo, right?
And that was one of my first LFR videos.
Was it real? So you've been doing LFR long enough that Brian McCabe was on the Leafs.
It was my 5th or 6th one. And I'll give you an idea. So you know how I like to put in cultural references and everything? I did. What was the guy's name? He was a YouTuber, Chris Crocker.
Oh, the Leave Britney Alone.
I did Leave Brian McCabe Alone.
And that was a fresh bit?
Yeah, and I put my blanket up behind me so that it looked like his video.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's throwing it back,
Chris
Steve.
Crocker.
Okay, so let's have a look at this. This is the first goal of the game. It will be Tage Thompson. But Alex Tuck I think we got to give Alex Tuck a little credit here. So Evan Bouchard is coming down behind the net. Stuart Skinner leaves in the puck, and Alex Tuck comes flying down the right side and blows a tire. So Evan Bouchard really can't go that way. Tage Thompson has him covered off on the other side, uses his gigantic arms to reach in, grab the puck, and I believe he roofs it over Skinner here. And it's...
you have 2 guys barreling down on you. One of them falls down. You can't hope for a much better outcome in that situation.
Yeah.
And you still flub it.
Oh, it's still an ugly look.
And I don't really even put that on Skinner. He's very deep in his net, but there's no reason to expect a shot.
No,
there's no reason to expect them to have the puck.
What's interesting about this, if you stop it right there, Jess, is, you see Alex Tuck's behind the net. You can't see him, but there's 2 other Sabres forwards there, and nobody else from Edmonton's back. No support. I think because they thought it was a routine play, right?
Now, Edmonton would have been cheating for offense here because if I'm not mistaken, this goal put them down 3-0.
No, this is the Tage Thompson goal.
Is it? Weren't they down 2-0 and then this made it 3?
Let me have a look.
I know they ended up tying it and they forced overtime.
Okay. I thought this one was the...
I could be wrong.
I think this was the opener, but I'm going to have a look. I'm going to have a look just to make sure. I could be wrong. I'm often wrong. Yeah, it's Tage Thompson unassisted. It's the first goal of the game. 11 minutes in.
Oops, my bad.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought this was the third one.
Yeah, no.
Well, in that case, they're just bad. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, well, they were breaking out with the puck.
I
don't have too much
I know.
qualms with where Edmonton is on this play. It's a mistake by Bouchard that he can't be making, and he makes a couple of them this game. And he is, though, the most reliable defenseman they have. He played 28 minutes last night, ridiculous amount of time. But that's what you get with Bouchard, and I think everybody in Edmonton has expected that at this point. You accept you get Bouchard, who's going to go out there for all of those minutes and be great offensively, but every once in a while you're going to get these gaffes. And
it's highlight reel.
There was a couple of them in the game. You can say on the OT winner, I know it's 3-on-3. We just went through that with Pittsburgh and everything, but he also blew his assignment there on the 3-on-3, which is an ugly play, and that leads to the winner. And then there's this, and you take the bad with the good with Bouchard.
Yes,
and it can't
he
be a
will-
fun experience
Yes.
if you're an Oilers fan.
He will win you games.
Yeah.
He will lose you games.
Yes.
He'll probably win you more games than he loses.
Yeah.
And that's why you like him.
Ryan Rashog tweeted this morning, the reality of Bouchard is that he'll make a bunch of these mistakes all season long, and it will frustrate fans, coaches, and probably even teammates from time to time. Then the playoffs start, and he's one of the greatest producing greatest point producing playoff defenseman ever, plain and simple. Playoffs are a long way away. It's easy to forget. If he was a perfect regular season guy, he would have cost them $14 million.
That's the thing. Like, I think he nailed it. It's you get great otherworldly Hall of Fame play out of Bouchard from time to time, and he'll go stretches maybe a month long. We don't have Evan Bouchard corner. And then every once in a while, we get some of the most boneheaded decisions in hockey out of this player. And it's so fascinating that we have this guy in the NHL.
He's not
love
being
it.
hyperbolic at all, by the way. Some of you, Hall of Fame.
No,
Bouchard?
I'm serious.
No. Oh, I know. But not everyone realizes.
Totally.
Evan Bouchard is already 25th in all-time playoff scoring by a defenseman.
Ever.
25.
Ever. He's like 25 years old. He's at 25, 26, and he's 25th all-time.
How many points is that, just so I know?
81. He's tied with Dan Boyle.
26
Here's the
years old.
difference. He's played 75 career playoff games. Dan Boyle has played 130.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
The guy just ahead of Bouchard with 85 points is Charlie Huddy. He's played 183. He's played over 100 more games than Bouchard. The guy ahead of that is Calle McCarr.
Oh, wow. If you could sort that by points per game, minimum like 50 games, that would be crazy. He's probably top like 10.
81 points in 75 games, so just over a point a game.
I'm gonna
But in
do.
comparison to everybody.
Oh, in
else,
comparison
right?
to everybody else.
I'm gonna do minimum
That's crazy.
20.
That's a
no,
crazy
50
stat.
is fine.
Do 50 because he's at 75, right? So it's a good little.
Oh, this
bar
website's so good on mobile.
But
Here,
yeah,
I'll find
Steve's gonna try and do that. You don't have to do it. It's just a
I want to.
good thought exercise. I think that's the reality of Evan Bouchard and that game as a whole. You can't be too mad at it if you're the Edmonton Oilers. They've been playing really well as of late. I don't like too often if like we're only talking about the Oilers when they suck. Like
Because it's only a story when they suck. They're supposed to be good.
I guess because it's par for the course when they're good. That
Yes.
it's not even a story or anything. But go ahead.
Jesse, thank you so much for asking.
Did you do the points per game?
Points per game by a defenseman, minimum 50 Stanley Cup playoff games played. Number one is Bobby Orr, obviously. In 74 games, 1.24. No one else is close. Number two is Joe Micheletti, 11 games played. I don't know why he's... Okay, I said 50, you stupid thing. Number two, then, is Evan Bouchard. Second all-time in points per game by a defenseman in the playoffs, 1.08, tied with Calle McCarr.
Cool.
So yeah. No, I think everything
Hall of
I was
Fame.
trying to say there is backed up by that number right there.
Just ahead of Brian Leach.
Wow.
Just ahead of Paul Coffey. Like, holy cow. Just ahead of Al McInnes. Ahead of Dennis Potvin. Ray Bork.
Crazy.
He's unbelievable. Now, he's a defenseman, and there's more to the game than scoring, but yeah, that's a lot.
Those numbers speak for themselves.
I'll give you
right?
another stat. Zach Lang says, with Bouchard on the ice at 5-on-5 since November 1st, the Oilers have outscored opposition 22-15.
Unreal.
With him off the ice since November 1st, the Oilers have been outscored 32-16.
Yeah, that's like MVP shit. Like, that's...
Yeah.
Like,
and you know, the guy,
I know you got McDavid and you got Draisaitl.
the point
but
of
that's like-
Bouchard Corner is to LOL and laugh.
Yeah.
But and it will continue to be.
Yeah.
But we don't want to understate the man as a player. And I think I look at this and I go, boy, the Oilers need a little help on the back end. Sure could use a Troy Stetcher.
where's his Mark Mathot?
I know he needs that. I thought it was supposed to be Darnell Nurse, but it never worked out that way.
No, like the reason I bring up Mark Mathot is like people generally use him for like, okay, there's Erik Karlsson, who you just need someone to let your highly gifted offensive defenseman to go out there and do their thing.
Well, Ekholm is, when he's healthy, is usually Bouchard's partner.
He's a lefty,
Okay. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I mean, here are the.
Oh, wait a sec. Bouchard's a lefty.
Here's the options. So it's Bouchard, Ekholm.
Yeah.
Right. Regula, Nurse, because Nurse is also a lefty.
They must have injuries, right?
Kulak, Emberson, I believe they do. Yeah. Kapanen, Wallman, and Roslovich. So it would have been.
Wallman.
Yeah.
I was like, who's missing from that?
But yeah, I mean, I think you're onto something in there. There's a
I guess that is why you went out and got
Ekholm. Yeah. And he's maybe, I don't want to say he's lost a step, but he's not the Matthias Ekholm he was necessarily at his peak. He's still
He's one of the oldest players in the league.
extremely useful player, though.
Yeah.
And
Nurse.
there's nothing Matthias Ekholm could have done on that particular play.
No.
I do think too, when you have the puck all the time, your lowlights are going to be more numerous because you have the puck.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yeah.
It kind of just happens that way. Anyway, Evan Bouchard, hilarious moment, but really the Oilers are 4-4-2 in their last 10. They are looking better, as Jesse said, and they're climbing. They're fine.
The game last night, I think the highlight there is the Connor McDavid 2 seconds left goal to tie it.
Yes.
And
Insane.
the Oilers came into that game, I think, assuming they could take care of business against the Buffalo Sabres, because Buffalo Sabres are playing on a back-to-back. The night before, they get blown out by Calgary. I forget how many goals. It was like 7 goals or whatever. And the Buffalo Sabres come in there, worst team ever, and they think like, hey, we don't have to try. We're the Oilers. And they don't try for 40 minutes.
It's not how the NHL works.
And they're down 3-0. But it's still impressive that they're able to tie it up and get a point by only playing 20 minutes of hockey.
Oh, dude, I looked at my phone. I saw 3-0 Sabres. And I said, we'll see. Most other teams are dead.
Mm-hmm.
It's Edmonton.
Yeah.
And that was in Edmonton. Like, don't you ever dare leave an Oilers game early. Why? Why on earth would you? For the good and bad reasons. An Oilers game is never over.
So if you're Chris Knobloch, you're ripping into your team for not putting in a 60-minute effort, because you can easily win that game if you're not surprised by the speed that the Sabres come out with, and you're ready to play hockey from puck drop at the beginning of the game. You win that game easily in regulation. So you rip into them for that. But you also look at the third period and you say, this is a pretty good team where Connor McDavid can put them on their back and score the first goal and then score that goal to tie it to force OT. And then you clean it up that way and you try and get the next one against Detroit. And you say, that's a pretty good homestand where we only lose the game to Minnesota, where a kid who stands on his head beats us 1-0.
Right.
And then you lose a bad one where you didn't show up to the Sabres game. You say, it's kind of okay. You're not, I don't think this is an end of the world loss to the Sabres on the second half of back that the Sabres were, but you need to now get the next one in Detroit to make everything be like, okay, we're good.
I saw a great meme the other day. I wish I could remember who it was, but I think people grossly undervalue the Sabres. Like, even though they're near the bottom of the standings, they're not as bad as you think. Mm-mm. And the meme was a banner in Buffalo, and it was like, made another team have a players only meeting.
That's good.
Anytime. Like, there's been a
no, we played like that against the Sabres.
The Sabres. There's been a disproportionate number of games in recent memory where a coach has like gotten fired, or there's been a players only meeting after losing to the Sabres.
Yeah.
Because come on, what are we doing, Buffalo? No. Listen. It's the NHL. There are no bad teams.
Hey, Jesse, you're looking awfully VIP.
Oh, thank you.
What are you wearing?
Fabletics.
Yes, and it's a quarter zip. Jesse's a true hockey mind.
Yeah.
Being a quarter zip wearer.
I like this one because it has the little hand things. I've had them on all show. I don't know if you can see under my hoodie there, but I like the little, anybody listening, it's where the thumbs go on the end of your sweater. It's very nice. It keeps me nice and warm. Today it's so snowy outside. I thought it'd be good to throw this on as a base layer, and thank goodness Fabletics has this because it's really nice and it keeps me warm.
A black quarter zip. You look just like a scout.
Yeah. 100%. Yo, the hockey rink is totally rubbing off on Jesse. Like ever since he's become reporter Jesse, now he's like, I'm going to be a quarter zip guy.
Yep.
Let me ask you something. Are you able to, when you edit the show later, with those fingers in the thing, are you able to do it like that?
With my thumb in the whole thumb holes? I am. Yes.
Wow. Look
Yeah.
at that. And Jesse
'Cause
gets...
That's how versatile Fabletics is. You could wear it while editing.
And you get 80% off everything when you were one of the 2 million VIP members. That's how crazy this is. And this thing is the holidays end up sneaking up on you. You're always scrambling for gifts. At least I am. This year, get ahead of it with Fabletics. They've nailed the exclusive quality and fit. And the great thing about it, too, company's been carbon neutral since 2021. A lot of recycled materials in there. It's good for the environment, and it's good for you. Fabletics already has amazing deals, but right now they're running their biggest sale of the year on top of that, and we got an exclusive offer just for you. This is 80% off everything when you sign up as a VIP. Head to fabletics.com/STP and sign up as a VIP to get everything 80% off. This is only available through our link, so go through fabletics.com/STP to sign up as a VIP and get 80% off. That's fabletics.com/STP. Jesse, I want to know if you could bring up your tweet from yesterday comparing two notable sticks to the face or to the head.
Okay.
There is a Toronto Maple Leaf today who is suspended. Now, let me give you the Leafs lines because I think you'll find this interesting. Okay. Currently, Bobby McMann is sitting. He was practicing today, but obviously he can't play tomorrow night. Nyes Matthews Domi, Cowan Tavares Robertson. I thought Michelli might get in, but nah.
Wait,
Cowan Tavares.
where the hell's Nylander?
Joshua Waugh Nylander.
What? All right.
Lawrence Lawton Yarncroke, and then McMahon suspended, and Michelli not playing probably ever.
You are in,
Yeah,
as Jeff Merrick likes to say, Le Shea Bow Wow.
that's right. Morgan Riley is out because he's sick. He's got
Lovely.
that's entering the team again. But it will be Riley OEL, McCabe Stetcher, and Benoit and Henry Thrun.
Oh, Henry Thrun's up? That's crazy. Why?
Because Dakota Mermis is out for
That's
probably
crazy.
a long time.
Why?
Because he got injured.
That's crazy. How?
Well, we're going to start with the Bobby McMann, Jake Trouba comparison, and you tell me what you think. Sure. So that's the line there. But Bobby McMann was suspended the one game.
By the way, sorry, just little details. I appreciate Mark Masters putting the little stop sign next to Tanev and Rafai.
Yes.
To indicate that there are no contact.
Certainly.
I like
It's great. Now, Jesse, can we see the Bobby McMann? Can we see I know we can't play the clip, but can we see the Bobby McMann hit? Because basically on Monday night, the Leafs and the Lightning were playing each other, and it got chippy, and it was great.
Yes.
And Bobby McMann takes, I don't know if it's a stick to the face, cross-check the face. There's the player on the ice gets him in the face, right? And you see him in the back left.
Yeah.
Bjorkstrand gets him in the face. And I think, obviously, I think maybe even Bobby's own stick hits him in the face. You know what I mean?
Well, it's Borchard pushing him. Is
Yes.
in the
Yeah.
face, It's,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what does Bobby McMann do? Well,
This.
It's unbelievable that in the Department of Player Safety video, they ignore the fuck around and they only show the find out.
right. So Bjorkstrand kind of pushes him in the face. Bobby's stick comes down, hits Bjorkstrand's helmet, and he's immediately kicked out of the game, which usually counts as a one-game suspension. But NHL Player Safety thought, oh, there it is, right there, boom. But he did, it kind of sort of grazes it, right?
He hit him with a pool noodle, let's be honest.
But he still did it.
Yes.
He still did it. And okay, fine. You want to suspend him another game? Because remember, game misconduct counts as a full game for some reason.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with Bobby's suspension.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Now, when we compare and we contrast this, and the benchmark, ladies and gentlemen, has to be the most obscene play.
Yes.
By virtue of the fact that it's the most obscene.
Yeah.
Because how the NHL reacts to that, if I would argue, much like in free agency, when you go, well, if Sidney Crosby's worth $10 million a year, well, then I'm 40% of Sidney Crosby, so I could at least get $4 million, right? If the suspension, or in this case, fine, is this much for this play, then you might agree with us that perhaps Bobby McMann ought not to be suspended. Now, this is a play from last year, and the player said, but I didn't mean to.
2 years ago.
Oh, it's 2 years ago now?
November 2023.
Whoa, it's a long time. Oh, you're right, because he's still a Ranger, and I forgot. Jake Trouba,
Frederick's still
playing the Trent Frederick, James Van Riemsdyk, Boston Bruins. And you'll see here that Trouba kind of gets pushed off by Frederick.
So they're tangled together, Frederick and Trouba are, and Trouba's trying to get his stick loose is his explanation for what happened, which is a little fair. It's not incorrect in that they were tangled and he's trying to get himself loose, and he swings his stick and it hits Frederick just square in the helmet. He hits him right in the logo on the side of the helmet. And thankfully in this play, Frederick was fine and like nothing came of it in terms of an injury, but he whacked him real hard here.
Frederick was so caught off guard. Like that's a great fight for Trent Frederick. You're a depth guy. You're not scoring. The captain of the Rangers just thwacked you in the head. Absolutely take that excuse to drop your gloves and beat the crap out of him. But he was so caught off guard that he just sort of went, did you see that?
Yeah. And afterwards, Trouba explained in his post game that he apologized to Frederick immediately.
Do not care.
That it was an accident and that he didn't mean to whack him in the face. In this play on the ice, there was no penalty called. At the time, the referee looking at the incident decided, hey, that's Jake Trouba. He probably knows my kids and took a picture with them and signed a stick for me. So I'm not going to call a penalty on this play. But then the discipline came afterwards of a 5K fine.
It's horrendous.
So my question to you guys is, had Bobby McMann apologized to reporters after games, Jesse? I mean, listen, if Jesse, I know it was a really intense game, but had Bobby McMann just come out and said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, would he be suspended today?
What happened with the Department of Player Safety is that they believed Trouba's retelling of the story there, and they believed that there was more intent on the Bobby McMann play, which I asked them, hey, when has that ever mattered?
Why does intent matter?
When has it ever mattered what Trouba thinks he was trying to do in the incident? And why isn't it just he whacked a guy in the head and that's the problem? And with Bobby McMann, who also did the same thing, got the game misconduct, which Trouba didn't get penalized at all on the ice for, and Bobby McMann got the suspension. Those things don't align to me.
Here's what you, a pleb, a peasant, a never played, are not taking into account, Jesse. George Peros went to school and post-secondary, in fact. And was it Harvard?
I have no idea.
Princeton? He went to a very prestigious school. Mm-hmm. And while there, he took a course and actually took it along with his major in mind reading. And he knows Trouba didn't mean to do it. And Bobby McMann, I'm trying to kill you. My name's Bobby McMann. That's what I'm known for. That I'm a vicious asshole. Can we all get a fucking grip? Can we all seriously get a grip? Like, listen, you can be pretty confident he meant to do it on account of he was looking at the guy and bonked him on the head, which is the same reason why I think Trouba meant to do it, but moving on. I don't have a problem with suspending a guy for bonking a player on the top of the head, even if it was the limpest, most wet noodle bonk you've ever seen. Bjorkstrand was like, hey, nothing happened to him.
And I agree with that. I think the 1 game suspension makes sense because you can't be using your stick as a weapon to people's heads.
Yes.
I get that. But nothing
Ankle,
else.
go for it. Knee, go for it. Hand, go for it.
You're allowed to cross-check people in the middle of their back and ruin their back for generations.
Yes.
Hi, Jamie Benn. But nothing else they did in that game in terms of discipline makes sense with that ruling on McMann. They singled him out there, even though their precedent is that we're going to give everybody else nothing. Yes. That's what's the problem.
Yeah. It always... Is this not every fucking Leafs discussion when it comes to supplementary discipline? If this is the standard going forward, never is. Mm-hmm. Never fucking is. Speaking of which, what is the standard?
Do you want to hear from the Department of Player Safety?
Not really, but yes.
Okay, here's their reasoning for suspending Bobby McMann. You can't play this. We'll listen to the audio here.
Monday night in Toronto, Maple Leafs forward Bobby McMann was assessed a match penalty for high-sticking Lightning forward Oliver Bjorkstrand. As the video shows, McMann lifts his stick over his head to move it away from an approaching linesperson. After being shoved by Bjorkstrand, McMann brings the raised stick downwards towards Bjorkstrand from a dangerous height, striking him in the head with sufficient force to merit supplemental discipline. This is high sticking.
No mention of what Bjorkstrand did. No mention. They pretended it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm. Well, that wasn't illegal. That wasn't illegal, Steve.
It is important to note that this is not the typical motion of a player merely bringing a raised stick down to the ice and accidentally making contact with an opponent. This is also not a situation where a player simply loses control of his stick or where an off-balance player is careless in an attempt to steady himself. McMann is in full control of both his stick and his own body at all times during this play, and simply must display more control to ensure his stick does not directly strike his opponent's head in this situation.
But not you, Jacob.
Yeah,
Not you, Jacob.
the counterpoint to the Trouba stuff would be like, well, Trouba didn't have full control of his body and he did it accidentally, so that's why it's less. But you watch that video of Trouba swinging his stick full speed at the dude, at Frederick's head, and you're like, how do you know?
Could it be that he's on his back skate and almost falling over?
No, then we're doing CIA Zapruder films of Jacob Trouba.
Why is he on his back skate?
Because
why is he on his back skate?
Because he and Trent Frederick are pushing each other?
No.
No. Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about McMann.
Oh, no.
By the way, very fun little Easter egg in this video. You can see someone coming off the bench. Oh, it's a trainer to go tend to Dakota Mermis, who is fucking injured.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Which is a very crucial part of this whole thing.
Joke league.
I'll finish.
Joke.
I'll finish their video.
Joke.
To summarize, this is high sticking. McMann has been neither fined nor suspended previously during his 169-game NHL career. The Department of Player Safety has suspended Bobby McMann for 1 game.
Put that up, Maddie. Key points. High sticking, no history. I got the hoodie on right now that we sell at sdpnshop.ca.
Where's the part, first of all, beautiful, great promo.
Yeah.
Second of all, where's the part of the video where they say it is simply to be expected that you get cross-checked in the face? It is normal. It is standard practice. What Bjorkstrand did was fine. What McMann did was wrong.
Now, let's switch to Gage Gonzalez. Gonzalez?
We keep saying Goncalves, and I'm
Goncalves?
positive that's wrong.
I can never say it right.
Goncalves. We're going to go with Goncalves.
I'm going to call him Gage.
All right.
Not a lot of Gages in the NHL. It's a good name. And so, listen, here's what happened. Goncalves takes a pretty good hit at Dakota Mermis, and it looks like Dakota Mermis might have blown out his knee. We still don't really know.
You should back up because
I will back up.
Gage is reacting to Benoit laying the body here.
Okay, so let's watch
perfectly
Benny.
Yes.
Clean body check.
So Benoit lays the body here on, is it Bjorkstrand who he hits here? I forget.
Who cares? Keep your head up.
So he lays this hit, and it's a great hit. It's clean. And then Gage is like, no, I don't accept that. And then you can continue with the Mermis play, Adam.
So Jess, you're absolutely right. So when you're mad, what do? You slap people in the head with your stick.
Yeah,
you're Bobby McMahon. But
Try to
also
injure your opponent.
if you're Gage Gonzalez, you hit a guy in the corner. Now, what's interesting about Dakota Mermis on this play, let's get over to it here, is he is just turning around to corral the puck just sort of north of the corner on the left side of the ice. And I'm trying to over-describe this because there are people listening. There is a 1, 2, 3, 4 skate towards this. So at very least to me, that's a charge, because a charge is 3 strides or more. And watch Dakota Mermis. So right before that, Jesse, look at Dakota Mermis' knees. And look at, so he doesn't.
He's hitting a stationary player.
Yeah. And he doesn't need to hit him on the knee.
Puck's gone.
Puck is gone.
He's past the puck.
You can
It's
finish
gone.
a check, though. You can finish a check.
Oh, this is a finish.
He finishes.
I don't.
Like an avalanche.
It's not a serious league full of serious
So
people.
watch this hit
He
again.
finished for sure.
Because watch the main point of contact here. That's the key for me.
Look at that shit.
Is that it's, look,
Mermis
he's
does
almost
not-
around him. He misses Mermis' body, but does not miss his knee.
He misses a stationary object. You dumbass. Oh, my God.
You call me a dumbass?
No, I'm calling Gage Concalves a dumbass.
And Dakota Mermis had been playing so well, and you could tell he is down and he's in pain. We don't have an update on him. I hope it's a contusion, but that sure looked like a blown out knee to me.
Yep.
And, this is the play that leads to what happens with Bobby McMann.
Yes.
Right? So this is the prequel to Star Wars, and then you get Star Wars. And I feel like...
Oh, it fell out of the sky at him.
And like Star Wars, we came with the prequel second.
That's right.
Yes, I know things.
Hey, Jesse's never seen a
I've
movie.
never seen Star Wars.
Which is amazing.
I've seen Family Guy, which is basically watching Star Wars.
That is pretty close,
I'm a big
actually.
Family Guy fan. So.
You ever notice every Leaf suspension starts with something that fell out of the sky? Like
What do you mean?
every Kadri thing, it all fell out of the sky. He took it there for no good reason.
Yeah,
always.
So circling back on this,
Sure.
In your email inbox, Gage doing this, he gets 5 and a match penalty for kneeing.
Yeah.
So he's thrown out of the game, or
Yep.
10 and a match penalty.
So he was kicked
kneeing.
out.
He got knee on knee, and they called it on the ice, and he got kicked out of the game.
Great.
But the NHL determined that there was no supplementary discipline for that, which is, I think, complete bullshit because you're going to give Bobby McMann extra. What about this?
October 5th, 2025. Why is that date important to this conversation?
You tell us.
NHL Department of Player Safety. Tampa Bay's Gage Concalves has been fined $3,125, the maximum allowable under the CBA, for cross-checking Florida's Evan Rodriguez. He's already received supplemental discipline this year, and he received 5 and a game for a kneeing incident and got nothing. You know why the rink in Italy isn't ready? Because who the fuck are you? You're not a real league. If you want things done on time, if you want people to take you seriously, resemble a professional sports.
They actually...
You're not even kind of.
They can't control the Olympic part.
I don't, Adam.
They can't.
Let me run in the field.
Fair.
Let me run in the goddamn field.
Fair.
Here's like
Maybe not knowing about it is you're not a real league, because Hockey Canada knew, but the NHL didn't.
hilarious.
Which Hockey Canada knew 3 months before and didn't flag it. Because
And why didn't Hockey Canada tell you?
Well,
because who the fuck are you? The NHL?
I think
Oh,
because
that
they
tiny
thought-
little podunk amateur
I
organization?
think they thought it would be corrected.
Yeah, whatever.
Never was.
Whatever. No, who the fuck are you? the National Hockey League? Who do you think you are? Now, I need to know what George Peros' fetish for kneeing is. Because I get the emails from the Department of Player Safety that after this segment, I'm positive I'll be kicked off of every time there's a fine or a suspension. So I typed kneeing into my email. The most recent email that pops up is from 2023. And I go, okay, that's got to be wrong. Maybe I deleted some emails somewhere. Let me. I went through their Twitter account and scrolled all the way, read every single post they made about this guy has a hearing, this guy has a fine, this guy's been suspended. Here's the video. All of them. I went all the way back to the beginning of 2022.
That's a long way.
The last time, yeah, I took the train here. The last time, snowy out there.
Yeah.
The last time there was supplementary discipline for kneeing was, honest to God, 2023. Philadelphia's Garnet Hathaway has been fined $5,000, the maximum allowable under the CBA, for kneeing Columbus's Zach Werenski. Now, shout out to Justin Fisher on our social team, who I sent a side quest. I took every kneeing that I could find up until the beginning of 2022, and I said, the guy who got kneed, can you go back and research and find out how much time they missed?
Give it to me. Wow. All right.
January 22nd, Dmitry Orlov was given a 2-game suspension for his knee-on-knee hit on Nikolai Ehlers. Ehlers missed 19 games due to the injury. Winnipeg lost that game and the next 5. March 2022, Marcus Foligno was fined $5,000 for his knee-on-knee hit on Jakub Voracek. Voracek missed 1 game. So, Foligno misses no games. Voracek misses 1. October 2023, Chase DeLeo was expected to miss 8 weeks with an MCL sprain after a knee-on-knee from Artur Kaliev, who got suspended 2 preseason games, 2 regular season games. Chase DeLeo, what do you know about him? I'll get to that in a minute. You don't know anything about him. Now, no injury time missed. Dursey missed no time when he was kneed by Evander Kane. It just says Kane, I assume it was.
Yeah.
Mason Shaw got 2 games for kneeing Evgeny Svechnikov. Svechnikov returned to the game. And Ian Cole was fined $5,000 for his knee-on-knee hit on Andrew Cogliano. Cogliano missed no time. Here's why I'm like extra hot under the collar for what happened to Dakota Mermis, beyond the fact that it's just unjustifiable. That Goncalves, who has already received supplemental discipline this year, 2 months ago, got nothing for this. Dakota Mermis has played less than 90 games in the NHL. His games in the NHL are so precious, and he's getting them this year. When, Adam, you, I think, might know the answer to this, do you qualify for your full NHLPA pension?
Game 200.
Game 200. There's no guarantee whatsoever that Dakota Mermis gets there. But that would be hugely important to him, his family, and his legacy financially. And that might have blown up on Monday night. His career might be over. Like, he's already a 7th or 8th defenseman on this team. Maybe he misses 1 game. We don't know. But he's already... Every game is so precious for him. He had 50 games played in Minnesota, comes to Toronto. It looks like he's going to get an opportunity here. In camp, breaks his jaw. The Leafs have a plan for him. We're going to send him down to the minors, claimed off waivers by Utah. Utah plays him 1 game. He's bad. Of course he's bad. They meant to rehab him. Stupid. And then they hold him hostage for however many more weeks, put him on waivers. The Leafs reclaim him. They eventually use him at the end of the season. This year, he's finally getting into games. He's finally playing well. You blow out his knee and you don't even punish the guy who did it? Mm-hmm. You're not a league. It's horrible. It's unjustifiable. It's complete bullshit. And why does it always seem to happen to these guys?
Mm-hmm. I will say that the NHL does a great job of protecting headshots when it's a pool noodle. When it comes to contact to the head via hits, via shoulder, they do a terrible job. And so I found the Bobby McMann thing interesting for this reason, because I was like, okay, how many headshots have I seen from a shoulder or a high arm or whatever, where a guy's head snaps back, NHL does nothing. But one little on the head with the stick, well, and again, I think that you should be suspended for that.
Yeah. Like,
every time.
Even though it was
even if
soft,
you didn't intend it, even if you apologized after the game and said, I'm super duper sorry.
Even though it was soft, you can't
do that. But, you know, when you're going... See, the Bobby McMann thing, they're standing still. If I'm going 30 kilometers an hour and somebody else is not going 30 kilometers an hour and I hit their head, that's a lot worse.
Yeah. And you know what some people have said to me, and I think their point is valid. So I'm trying to look at this objectively and civilly and go, okay, you hit him over the head. You deserve a game. The Stanley Cup champions, the current Stanley Cup champions, what is on the inside of their ring?
No apologies.
We apologize to no one.
We apologize to no one.
I hope he does it again. I hope he does it harder. And I hope he's given nothing. Because fuck you. You can knee our guy. What do you think the Leafs conversations in their room are right now?
Hope
about what they do to Gage Goncalves. That I hope
don't
they're
mad.
Touch Gage Goncalves. Who the fuck is that? I hope the next time the Leafs play Tampa, it's after the Olympics. I tell you that much. There's a lot of Canadian Olympians on that team.
Oh.
Okay. But there's a few guys who might be missing the playoffs.
They're going to take a run at like a
Why not?
Brandon
Why the hell not? We apologize to no one. The current reigning champions of the NHL, 2 years running, batter and bruise and brain everyone in their path, suffer no consequences for it. So you know what? No. Why be civil? Why look at it rationally? The suspension of McMann is also bullshit. Take that veneer off.
I don't think the Leafs have signed enough sticks, man.
They better start. They better start because the best teams do.
Now, there were...
Also, George Peros just hates the team. Let's be honest.
yeah. Well,
Let's be honest. If George Peros was as fucking smart as everyone says he is, he would not still be the head of the Department of Player Safety.
He'd be a GM.
9 years, George. Give up your chair.
And
Go somewhere else.
Also, no one
apply for a job.
No one likes
what
that
do you
job.
do? Guys do not stay in that chair for as long as you, George. And I would love for you to ask yourself why. They move on to bigger and better things. You're not, because you're not qualified.
It's very evident by, like, you can see all the evidence from everybody who's come through that part of the NHL front offices. Even a guy like Ryan Getzlaff, who like just got his job with the NHL, who's basically like interning around the NHL head offices. He's now working on the Team Canada Olympic team with the other GMs because you go through that quickly and then they usher you off into one of these high priced jobs that they have in the league, and there's only like 60 of them, right?
He goes to games and scrolls his phone.
So the fact that he's just sitting in this position for so long speaks volumes about what he is as a person in this role.
I think you guys are missing the cheat code.
What's that?
How many assistant general managers does the Leafs have?
It's just hire George.
How much money do they have?
Wasn't that Steve's idea last episode?
no.
Yes.
No.
I want the Leafs. They're trying to like cut staff. No. Offer Gregory Campbell $10 million a year to be AGM of the Leafs. Boom. Take George Peros, offer him
leave George.
million.
Leave George. George and Gregory are former Panthers.
Oh,
you need the connection at the top of the thing, right?
How much money would it cost for you to sit at home? Leave us the fuck alone.
Well,
leave
ask
the
Fletcher.
sport alone. Good Lord, the damage you're doing, George. Brian Burke was the head of the Department of Player Safety, and what did he do after that?
He got a job.
He got a job. He was an assistant GM. He was a GM. He was a president. Colin Campbell, for God's sake, had to resign in humiliation, in complete disgrace. But he stayed with the NHL, got a bigger role, and now he's in the Hall of Fame. You getting into the Hall, George? You getting into the Hall? Brendan Shanahan went on from the head of the Department of Player Safety.
He had a bad run.
To what? With the Department of Player Safety? I completely disagree.
Shannon was
you guys
great.
disagree?
No,
I
Shannon was
disagree
great.
because the NHL did what the NHL always does. He set a new standard going forward.
Tried to do too much.
He tried
Chill.
to improve hockey. And he tried to improve the National Hockey League, which they're really not fans of. And they went backward, which is their default.
Brendan should have sat back and just been like, that's not a suspension. He tried to do a lot and change the game for the better.
He tried to change the NHL, and they're just not interested in that, Brendan. And he went on to be president of an NHL team for a decade. And then after that, it was briefly, here's how shitty George Peros is at his job. Who was the last head of the Department of Player Safety before George Peros?
You tell me.
Wasn't it Shanny?
Nope.
No.
Okay, so there was a middle person because it wasn't that many.
It's and like I know they're sitting in their office going, "Woe is me." No one like whoever gets this job will get ranted about. How many rants did I go on about Stefan Quintel?
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh wow. I didn't. When I looked it up, I went, "Really?" I didn't know. I thought it was Shanny too, but it was Stefan Quintel. George, give up the fucking seat, dude. 9 years? Move on. For the love of God. Like George Peros is the head of the Department of Player Safety, and he's been doing it for most of a decade. Yeah. Let's all get a grip. George Peros. Fuck me.
This is like he's had an internship for 6 years, and he's like, "Hey, you should probably get a job by now."
You know? I think Walsh calls it the kangaroo court.
Yeah, because they're just making shit up. And by the way, speaking of Alan Walsh, Adam, and Alan Walsh being outspoken about the Department of Player Safety, boy, do his clients get hammered. Oh, do they get hammered by the
Drouin
DLPS.
got suspended earlier this year.
2 players all season. We are in the 3rd month of the season. 2 players all season have had a hearing with the Department of Player Safety. Jonathan Drouin, Bobby McMann. And you're going to be like, Steve, you're leaving out Mikko Rantanen. Mikko Rantanen got an automatic suspension.
Because he had 2-game misconduct.
The rules are the rules, and no, it was one.
Oh, it was one?
The rules are the rules, and too bad. You're
Why
suspended
was it
one
automatic,
game.
though?
George,
Back-to-back
game misconduct.
That's
yeah.
what I tried to say, yeah.
Oh, right. Got it. Sorry, my bad. So George didn't even have to get out of bed for that one.
Yeah, he
It's just
wasn't
nice and automatic.
Mikko Rantanen was not given any supplemental discipline for his actions on the ice. He was just simply automatically triggered a clause.
They could have probably
rules.
suspended him more.
I think I said that on the show when it happened. It should have been a suspension on top of his suspension because he wasn't given anything for his actual action.
No, Adam, that would involve George getting about. I'm picturing him walking around his house, rubbing his eye with one hand and carrying one of those little metal candlestick holders in the other with his little nightcap and his Ebenezer Scrooge nightgown, just walking around his house. Did something happen today? Do I gotta do work and shit? George, this hostage situation has to end. If you're as qualified as you think you are, leave. Enough of this shit. Oh my God.
You already know Fanatics is where you want to get your jerseys and stuff, but what about the Lululemon Premium Upgrade? You know what I'm saying? Look at Jesse, look at Steve.
Yes.
Look how handsome.
They've made fan gear into regular everyday gear. You know, it's not just, I got to throw on a jersey or some ugly big logo on the front. You know, like every logo t-shirt with your favorite team on it, it's just right across the front. Now it's like, I could wear this anywhere.
They call
I got.
Jesse, they call
right
it
there.
subtle fandom.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
They got a word for it.
And here's the deal. It's comfortable too, and it's Lululemon and Fanatics quality. So you know it's going to be good.
I have headphones on under this hood. You can't even tell.
You can get this in, by the way, like Jesse and Steve are wearing the Toronto Maple Leafs collection because obviously, but you can get this in all 32 teams and it's a great gift. Like this is awesome for the fan that wants a little bit of the elevated experience. And I think at the holidays, even birthdays, I'm thinking too, like I'm thinking way ahead here, but like Valentine's Day is good too. It's the time of year for warm clothes. And you can kind of, like you said, wear this anywhere, Jeff.
Or non-warm clothes too, because it's just the entire Lululemon like set of clothes that Lululemon has, except with like little logos of your favorite teams. I was looking at, they have just the Lululemon shorts, except there's a little Pittsburgh Penguins logo on it, or whatever team you want on it. They're really cool.
I like the Lululemon shorts.
Yeah.
If I wear this on the train today, I will fall asleep.
It's so cozy.
We do spend half of our lives in Lululemon joggers. I'm pretty sure. Like I'm wearing them today. Steve is normally wearing them. Jesse, I'm not sure. You wear them too. It's just, you can get them now with the logos on it. Anyway, check it out. Go to fanatics.ca right now, and the NHL collection is available there for all 32 teams. Again, it's Fanatics, and gear up with the best. Steve Dangle, if you were getting Jesse Blake an Aura frame, what pictures would you upload to it before it got sent to his house along with a nice gift box that it comes in pre-wrapped?
So the first 5 or 6 pictures would be of waffles.
His dog?
Yes. To lull him into, not like the actual breakfast item waffles.
Yeah.
Although maybe that would be the 7th picture.
Okay.
Is actual waffles. Then the next 20 would just be you more and more and more zoomed in your New Jersey Devils pajamas. Yes.
I like that.
I wanted Steve Beer League highlights.
Oh, I can give you those too.
I want those on my
Problem
Aura
is
frame.
that'd be a short loop.
I'll take it.
Listen, if you're a 37-year-old man, but your mom's still really proud of you and wants to see your highlights, you should get Aura frames because you can send the frame to your mom's house, upload unlimited photos and video, and also live photos count too, right? Which is really, really cool.
Yep.
And it could just appear on their frame. They don't even have to know how to use it. And you know how hard it is with boomer parents. Usually they don't know how to use it.
My first beer league goal led to the most boomer text I ever received. I sent a beautiful photo of me holding a puck with tape on it and writing on it. And Leo is in the picture with me and he's holding his teddy. And I sent it to my dad. And he responded with, "What is this, please?"
Well, now it could just appear in his living room and he can you know what? He might just talk to the frame and go, "What is this?"
Hey, Aura, what is this, please?
For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com. Get $35 off your Aura frame. It's the best-selling carver mat frames, named #1 by Wirecutter, using the promo code SDP at checkout. That's Aura, AURA frames.com/SDP. This deal is exclusive to listeners, and the frames sell out fast, so make sure you get yours in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. There is a rumor from Elite Prospects today that Calle is leaving the Toronto Maple Leafs and going to Brynäs. I don't know where that is.
The Swedish league.
Okay. And that we called Chris Johnson, and Chris Johnson said that's complete bullshit. So, I mean, listen, rumors happen. Always good to check with your insider. And, it's interesting. This one made a lot of sense in a vacuum. Like, you could easily explain this to yourself, because the way this contract was signed, and this was a Kyle Dubas contract, the majority of this contract was bonuses. And Calle's in his last year, and the bonus is always paid on July 1st. So he only really had league min to make this year.
And
you're what?
The season's already underway.
30 or 40% in. So
he's owed like $400,000.
Yeah. So that is a guy that I could easily see going, yeah, you know what? I'm not really liking my time, and I'm going to go to Sweden, and I'll make that back in Sweden.
The one thing I'll stick up for EP for is they didn't specify when.
No, they just said it was a rumor. I don't know.
Yeah. No, but like it could be next season.
Yeah.
Like guys make decent money over in Europe. I don't think Järnkrok would have made $400,000 for an abbreviated season in Sweden.
I would imagine it would have been over multiple years. That was my
I'm
not saying he would make it back
possible
this year, but it's like
But
it's like
also-
David Kampf, right? He's not going to make that money that he gave up back right away.
Here's the difference between Järnkrok and David Kampf. Järnkrok is in the NHL, and not only is he in the NHL, he's in the lineup.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason for him to rip up his deal.
I wondered if obviously I think he is probably overpaid at this point for what he brings, but he's still a reliable defensive forward that I do think you need. However, I feel like the Leafs would also appreciate, just like with Kampf, the cap flexibility that it might give you.
You could take him or leave him. Like, I don't...
I feel like you could find somebody on the Marlies who could do some of what Calle does.
Yeah, probably.
At this point.
Probably. For a lot less.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't think he's so useless that you can't use him.
I think Calle Järnkrok is worth $2.1 million. Like, I feel like he's useful enough that he's better than a player who's making 900. Like, he can play in so many different parts of the lineup. If you needed somebody in your middle six, he can fill in there. Mm-hmm. And he can also, like you said, play great defensively. I don't think the cap flexibility of $2.1 million is worth getting rid of Järnkrok for the million you'd save on the 925 player.
When he's in the lineup, he's on the penalty kill. If you're up by a goal, he's out there in the final, let's say, 3 minutes. Not necessarily with your final unit, but he's out there. If if like Cowan or someone is on your second line and you're in the final 5 minutes, you might replace him with Järnkrok, right? Or Lawton has been the more popular guy at times this season. He's a defensively responsible forward. What is starting to frustrate me about him is I've defended him by saying he's good for like 10 to 15 goals every single year. And like historically, you look at his career, it's every single year. Last year was the outlier because he was injured. He scored 3 goals to start the season and shut it off.
I think 4 in 19 is what he have, which would be on pace for what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm thinking,
No, it is.
Yeah, it is.
yeah, you're right. You're
I'll
right.
give you a second to do the math, but it is.
Yeah.
Well, put it this way, he's cold.
Yes,
So
that is true.
And
I'd
he's
love for him
also-
to chip one in.
He's also not like I get what you're saying, but I'm like, that's not what they're using it for.
Yeah, well, that's not what they're using Steven Lorentz for, but like on occasion,
He scores.
it's
yeah.
nice to chip in the occasional goal. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I get that. I want to know what we can expect from Henry Thrun. People have been begging for this guy to be called up. He finally has been. This is the guy that came over from San Jose in the Ryan Reeves trade, which is kind of crazy. And from what I've heard, he's a very, very competitive person. Has had a really good start with the Marlies. What do we expect?
I expect him to play like it.
Okay.
I talked about Mermis and this being one of his last chances in the NHL. I mean, geez, how many defensemen have played for the Leafs this year? 9, 10?
We're getting there, yeah.
You're this far down, right? But you're still getting this opportunity. you better play like it's your last day in the league, because it might be. We need this. We need you to move the puck well. We need you to pay attention to assignments. We need you to not screw it up. Every point is so important to this team. They've been playing well. They've allowed, I think it's 10 goals in their last 7 games combined. That's nuts.
He had played 119 games with the San Jose Sharks over in parts of the last 3 seasons, keeping in mind, of course, that the Sharks were bad and not as deep on defense. Yeah. So, but he has plenty of NHL experience, I think is my point. He's got more NHL games than Dakota Mermis.
You're totally right.
So he also is a left shot guy. So how do you like him with Benoit?
I would imagine it's Benny on the right, but I don't know how much right he played in San Jose. Listen, it's one of those situations where you just got to friggin' figure it out. And the Leafs are being real cautious about William Villeneuve. He's the name who keeps coming up. I'd really like to see him, but if you have a choice between a guy who's never been there before and a guy who has, maybe you should side with a guy like Henry Thrun.
Do you think that that a guy like Will Villeneuve is just too offensively minded for what Berube wants in that position?
Well, maybe they feel satisfied with, because that was something they needed so badly, and maybe they feel satisfied with what Stetcher's bringing.
Now, Rafai and Chris Tanev were both participants in Leafs practice today, both wearing red jerseys. So it's pretty clear that Tanev will not play tomorrow night. And Kyprios reported on his show that there's a potential surgery going on there, and that they would hope to get him back at the end of the season if it came down to that. But based on what we know from what happened on the ice, I think it was it Mitchkov or whatever he kind of backed into?
Yes.
That I would imagine that's a neck thing. It should look like a neck thing.
You can't screw around with that.
Yeah.
Everyone keeps bringing up Jake Muzzin, and that was a good NHL defenseman until he wasn't.
Due at the doctor today. So we'll see what happens. So he's going to go to practice, then he's going to be reevaluated, and we'll see what happens. So
I wonder how much they tell us.
Oh, they will not tell us anything. Jesse, being around the rink, you've seen Tanev get on the ice and skate before practice, right? Like he's on before or he's on after. Does he look ready?
No, he hasn't participated in practice until today. Today he was practicing and actually practicing with the team. So just kind of skating around beforehand. So he definitely wasn't ready. He'll need a full practice, which he had today, but still no contact. So I haven't seen him be ready just quite yet.
This is just in from David Alter too. Craig Berube says Dakota Mermis will be out at least a month. Weighing in on the McMann suspension, he said it wasn't much of a, and then he stopped himself and he said, I thought it was more of him just kind of getting bumped and the stick kind of, I don't know, you got to control your stick, but I don't think it was worth the suspension.
Gage Concalvis got nothing.
Yeah.
Mermis is out a month. That could, who knows when his next NHL game will be.
Lance Hornby is also saying that Henry Thrun is a good bet to play the right side tomorrow.
Got it. Okay.
So there you go. Now, I want to move on to the Montreal Canadiens. Okay? Let me tell you about the Montreal Canadiens.
Hit me. Bash me over the head with it.
Jesse and Steve, guess what the Montreal Canadiens are in their last 10.
5-3-2.
Jesse?
Steve said 5-3-2. I'll go 3-5-2.
Okay, the Montreal Canadiens are a clean 5-5-0.
Oh.
But I will give you this number, and this was the more concerning one. The Montreal Canadiens are 2-3 in December so far.
Okay.
They were 5-8 in November.
Ooh.
Which is not great.
And they beat the Leafs twice.
Yes. So, so that kind of sucks.
Please stop that.
Not time to panic yet. But I'm going to read you a piece of Arpon Basu's article from The Athletic. This is how it kicks off. When Sam Montembeault came in to start the second period of the game, the Montreal Canadiens were already trailing 3-0 to the Tampa Bay Lightning, a game that remained barely in reach, though it was an opportunity to allow his club to stick with the plan.
Sure.
Instead, Montembeault gave up a goal on the first shot that he saw after the Canadiens had already put 3 on goal on the other end and that put the game out of reach. It was the fifth time this season Montembeault has allowed a goal on the first shot. Now, a few minutes later, this is later on in the article. Marty St. Louis at one point, I guess in the coach's scrum after the game, said, "My press conferences at home are starting to suck." And the Canadians announced that Jacob Fowler, their hot goaltending prospect, is coming up, along with defenseman Adam Eggstrom and Owen Beck, who everybody's very excited about.
Good prospect.
That, to me, is a real shift in we need to jolt this lineup, whatever's going on. And now let me start with Fowler, because Dobish has been good. Montembeault's been bad.
Dobish has been adequate.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Fowler was supposed to spend all this year with the Laval Rocket. There was no reason to bring him up. You had a pretty good goaltending tandem. One goalie who was on the Four Nations squad, you would expect that he would be your starter.
I would argue the Habs goalie situation at the beginning of the season was like envious.
Yes.
You have like a national team goalie. You have two national team goalies, really.
Yeah.
Or you should. And you have a really good goalie prospect. That's a great situation.
And Fowler, by the way, in 15 games with the Laval Rocket this year, has put up a .919 save percentage, and he's 10-5 with a 2.09 goals against average. And that is in the American League, where stats can get a little goofy, especially with goaltending. That's really, really good.
Last year, Laval had a goalie who went 21-2-2 with a .927 save percentage. Who was it?
Caden Primo.
So
yeah, listen,
grain of salt.
Joe Wool's numbers were terrible with the Marlies and came in, and it was great.
21-2-2 is insane.
Yeah, that is nuts.
That's insane.
So they're bringing this kid up, and they're going, all right, you're going to play a little bit, because clearly our guys are not able to handle this. What do you guys think about Marty St. Louis being that honest? You know, Montreal's media is not easy, and him going, yeah, my press conferences at home are starting to suck.
Well, I mean, like, listen, the I guess the good news is the problem is obvious. The bad news is the problem is obvious. It's about time. Like, you don't want to start Fowler too early, but I think you're now at a point where you got to see what you have. Because if Fowler comes in and he's no good, or he's not ready, or whatever you want to call it, now you got to look into like the waiver wire and the trade market, and like who's putting a goalie on waivers right now. Right? You got to look at solutions here. And in terms of, I think it's very interesting that they called up a goalie, a forward, and a D, because that sends a jolt to everyone. No one's job is safe. If you're a forward, guess what? There's a new guy, and I'm going to try him. Please let me know which one of you I need to take out. Please let me know. There's a new D. Which one of you needs to come out? Let me know. Turn it over again. Blow your assignment again. Let me know. And in net, well.
Jesse.
That speaks for itself.
Is feeding a rookie goaltender to this scenario a good idea?
Yeah, like it's fine. Because what happened last night with Montembeault, that was the straw, and you now know this thing can't work and everybody needs a reset here, and we need something else because what we're doing isn't working. The goals last night, I don't even blame them on Dobish so much. One was like a Pontus Holmberg coming out of the penalty box and a breakaway goal. And then the other one, like Struble blows his man and there's a goal right in front. Like, that's not on Dobish, but you're still in that game and you still think that you can get back into this thing from a Tampa Bay team that's lost 4 in a row. You're like, okay, we can still come back and win. We're playing well. And then Montembeault's in there, and he's making Darren Radish look like Prime Ovechkin. Like 2 shots from, they might as well been shot from like Quebec City.
Yeah.
And they just go right into the back of the net. Especially the last one on the power play. It's like, I don't know where he was going, what he was doing. So you look at that and you're like, okay, it's over. This goalie, whatever happened to his confidence since last playoffs to now. I know he dealt with some injuries and that sort of stuff from that playoff run to the summer, but he's come into the season and you can't play him anymore. And you mentioned the waivers thing. That's why Fowler needs to be the guy to come up, because if you bring up Capo Kakinen and then you want to send him back down, he's got to clear waivers and they're going to lose him. So this is your only option in helping Dobish here get through this little stretch where the defense in front of him isn't playing so well, and you need just another goaltender who's competent to play because Montembeault's not that. And Jacob Fowler, it's an exciting time if you're a Montreal Canadiens fan to see him in the net there. There was a weird thing about Patrick Waugh and Carey Price both having their first career starts against the Pittsburgh Penguins. So they probably won't do it soon against the Penguins, but it's going to be Penguins or Islanders.
Habs fans know their history so well.
I saw that going around. Plus, there's this video of one of their scouts. I believe his name's Billy Ryan. And the Montreal Canadiens do a really good job of their behind the scenes things.
Yeah.
They do all the footage from the draft floor. And in 2023, when they took Fowler, there's a video of Billy Ryan at the draft table with all the Montreal Canadiens brass there sitting around. And he really wants them to select Fowler. And he goes and he says this thing that gives me chills every time I watch a little TikTok of it. He goes, Fowler wasn't good growing up. He was the best. Damn! Every time I see it, I lose my shit.
You're like tearing up right now.
Yeah. Like,
that's crazy.
You watch that and you're like, if this kid becomes something, that scene right there where this guy's advocating so hard for Fowler, that's going to be a moment in time. And like that to me, that's the cut. And then you have the TikTok a highlight reel of Fowler making a million great saves. One day lifting the Vezina Trophy, lifting the Stanley Cup. Like, it's awesome. So there's a lot of expectation on this kid. He's only 21, but we know with Montreal goalies it can sometimes be magical. I don't know if he's going to get it this time around against the Islanders or Pens, but at every level this kid has been at since he's 10 years old, all he has done is win. And now he's goaltender for the Montreal Canadiens, and we could see something special.
I think that's
there you go.
I think that's very cool. That's very cool.
His highlights page on eliteprospects.com has so many I've never seen a player with this many trophies.
I want you to read his save percentage and the trophies.
So it goes all the way back to, it says the team he was on for U14 AAA, but it doesn't give his stats. The first stats are from the 1920 season, the NAPHL U16. He had a .932 save percentage and was 7-0. He allowed 12 goals. In 22 games played with Selects Academy U18, he had a .945 save percentage. It doesn't say his record. The next year, he had a .928, and then got called up to the USHL, .927, 11-4-1. Same year, Selects Academy U18 AAA, .923 save percentage. I'm looking for an 8. Youngstown Phantoms USHL 40 games 27-9-3 and with a .921 save percentage.
The 22-23 season they won the championship, right?
I think so. Boston College NCAA .926 with a record of 32-6-1. Why even get dressed if you're the opponent? Like, why even get dressed? He was at the World Juniors in 24. He had I was about to say, he was a little substandard with an 889. He went 3-0. Boston College last year, 25-7-2 with a 940. Went to the Laval Rocket, 2-1 with a 914. And then this season in the AHL, 10-5 with a 919. Mm-hmm. Holy shit.
He's a winner at every level. We'll see if he can do it at the NHL.
The trophies, like, I don't even know what all these are. Like, I'd have to click them all individually. That's like, I think that's World Junior Gold, that's NCAA, that's Goalie of the Year, that's MVP, this USHL trophy. Holy shit. Mm-hmm. Listen, you can screw up a goalie's development.
Yes.
I don't know if you're going to screw this one's up.
And this to me is, we just need a stopgap. I don't think this is we're going to run with Fowler for the season or a month or anything. It's let's just hold the fort here with our season.
What if he's unreal?
Oh, maybe. I doubt it. I think this was like we're looking at the 27, 28 seasons, you know. No. This kid getting into the 23, 24-year-old
get in there and
stage
be
of his life.
Get in there and be Wallstead. Go 5-0, baby. Let's
go. The worst example in recent memory, and I thought this kid was going to be special immediately. He might still be, but he ain't. Is Devin Levi.
That's a good one.
I had the Sabres finishing like second in the
Yeah.
Atlantic a few years ago because I'm like, this kid's going to come in and he's going to be unreal. And that's just not how it
And they've done such a great job with his development.
No, he
they're
was getting
so-
beaked by his AHL coach
they're
like
so
like a
good.
month ago.
Man, I love them. I love them.
Yeah, no, they're really good at developing.
Devin Levi,
Panthers.
who
And
is
people are like, I can't believe Peterka asked for a trade. I'm like, I can.
Yeah, no, they stink.
Devin Levi's still 23 years old.
23,
Oh.
and what's how's he doing this year?
Rochester Americans 897,
With
9-4-2.
that's a good record.
Not bad. Not bad record. Yeah.
Yeah, with the minors, I know you should be looking at save percentage. It's a little bit more individual performance, but like winning games is hard.
But I think that's a really good example of we were very high on Levi coming in, and then you look at it and he's 21 years old. And like 2 years later, he's still 23.
Like
It's still
that's
Yeah.
updated.
that's so
It's very
so
young
rare.
for Fowler. That's why I'm very high on this prospect for the next few years. I think this just needs to be a little stint and just make everything calm with Monzebo and that sort of thing, and then let him actually get up there when he's 23, 24. But we'll see. Maybe he's excellent.
two of the youngest goaltending prodigies in NHL history have been Patrick Roy and Carey Price, and it's not fair.
Yeah.
Like for them to get it again with a kid this young would be insane. But
So-
if it's going to happen anywhere,
Do you do the thing just for the serendipity of history and start him
Yeah,
against the
of course you
Penguins?
do.
is
course
it
you do.
at home or on the road?
I
You know what? It
believe
doesn't matter.
It's at home.
Good. Yeah, do it.
Let me double.
Yeah.
Do it. Have him stare down Sidney Crosby for the first shot of his NHL career. Why not?
It's on the road in Pittsburgh
Even better.
tomorrow night, 7:00.
Even better. Well, St. Louis has been complaining about the home starts.
I think,
Honestly, there's probably less pressure on the road.
I think that, by the way, we're ignoring the really important call up here, and that's Owen Beck.
Yes.
What position does Owen Beck play, Steve?
He's wing, isn't he?
No, he's a centerman.
Oh, he's a center.
Yeah. Now, 11 points in 22 games, 23 games with the Val? 22.
Also, can I just correct myself?
Oh, yeah.
I keep saying Islanders. It's the Rangers. They're playing on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
The
Oh.
other New York-based.
Right.
So my bad.
I would say the lesser of the two.
Stop yelling at me. The ghosts in the car yelling at their phone or car dash right now. I meant New York Rangers, not Islanders.
You stupid idiot!
Marty St. Louis is all too aware of the history, and I don't think Marty St. Louis is a man not of destiny. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the fact that Marty St. Louis even made the NHL, that's a guy who believes in destiny and hard work and living up to your potential. And I say he starts him in Pittsburgh. Let's go. It's also not working, right? Their goaltending's not working. So start the guy that, hey, I know A and B aren't working. Why don't we try Magic Beans instead? And Pittsburgh's the team to try it against. They just punched in their own tying goal last night. Like, I do it.
Literally. One thing I'll say, so Owen Beck had a very good season last year. He's not doing as well offensively this year, but their top scorer is Laurent Dauphin.
Yeah.
And that's how the AHL works,
Well,
baby.
I think with Owen Beck, it's like, dude, they need a centerman.
yeah.
He's 20, 21 years old, something like that. Why not try him?
Well, Laurent Dauphin is listed as a center. All I'm saying is, like, it's not apples to apples in the A. If it was, Tim Stapleton would be in the Hall of Fame, and friggin'
Yeah.
so would TJ Brennan.
Hey, this episode's brought to you by BetterHelp. Support system. This time of year, it's really important. You're going to see a bunch of people. And what's the saying at Christmas? You see a bunch of people you barely know, but you have to say I love you to them.
Is that the same?
I don't think that's a
That is the
saying
thing.
at all.
Well, because a lot of people spend a lot more time with their friends than they do with their family. But at Christmas, it's like, well, we're going to throw them all together and hope that things go well.
Well, you know what they say. You know, you can rely on your friends you do a podcast with unless they rip on you all the time.
Can
No,
you
that's how
bring
you know
your
you can rely.
BetterHelp therapist to Christmas?
You can't, but you could FaceTime them from the bathroom.
Ah, okay.
That's the great thing about it. You can do BetterHelp basically anywhere at any time as long as you schedule it in. It works on your schedule. There's 30,000 credentialed therapists in a bazillion different types of disciplines. And that's sort of the key with it. You're not like working within a 10 to 3 window on a Wednesday, on the third Wednesday of every month. BetterHelp works when you work. You should check it out. It's a great support system. And if you've never given therapy a shot, we all have, and it has worked for us, believe it or not. The result's still pending. Build your support system with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/SDP today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/SDP. They are not the only ones, the Montreal Canadiens, who have fallen a bit lately in the Atlantic Division, which continues to be one of the more interesting in the sport just because one hot week and you are doing well and one bad week like the Senators have found out, and you're not. Let me tell you this. The Ottawa Senators, and this is basically since Brady Tkachuk's been back, but December 2nd, the Ottawa Senators were second in the Atlantic. They are now second last.
Man, when he came back, I was like, look the hell out. And it's not like he's been doing poorly either.
No, he's great.
Yeah.
Sometimes when a good player comes back, other players are like, oh, well, he'll handle that.
Yeah, around here we call that the Austin Matthews effect.
Yeah.
Like
Hilariously.
basically undefeated without him
Yeah.
for like a decade straight. And then he comes back and everyone's like, meh.
Hilariously, the Senators are because they haven't had a point or haven't had many points in that time. They've lost 3 straight. Coming into today's show, they are still only 6 points out of first place, and they're tied with the Florida Panthers. So
that's hilarious. It's fun that it's this tight, and I don't know if it makes it more nerve-wracking when you go on a losing streak or less. Like literally every team is going to go through this.
Yes.
You have one bad week, which anyone will do, and you're finished.
What I love about it is the Leafs had like a bad month.
And they're right there.
And they're right back in it.
Right back in it. They had a hot week.
Yeah.
They're like a week and a half.
The Leafs are simultaneously 4 points out of first in the Atlantic and 4 points out of last in the East.
It's a good spot to be. Got him right where we want him.
What are we doing? That's
It's
hilarious.
pretty silly.
What a weird year. Injuries have been
32,
weird.
36,
The West is like haves and have-nots. There's a couple of teams running away with it in the West, Dallas and Colorado. In the East, it's like, well, Washington sort of is, right? Like 39 points already, but the Atlantic is flat.
Scroll down a little. Don't blink. I think Florida's making their move.
You think so? They
Yeah.
won 2 in a row?
2 in a row, 5-4-1.
Oh, man. That's a big winning streak in the Atlantic.
I'm telling you, I think they're making their move. I'm serious. You know I'm serious.
Here we go.
I'm serious. Well, we all know it's coming. When's it coming? Why not now? Florida's making their move.
I'm on the Sens website because we're talking about the Sens. I was looking at the standings there. What do you guys think about Sensmas?
Sensmas? Oh, no.
Is that a Thomas Shabbat thing?
They're doing Sensmas stocking stuffer.
You know what? I don't hate it. I would have approved that.
I want Leaf Smith decorations. What the hell? That'd be awesome.
Yeah? Thumbs up for Sensmas.
I need an Artem Zub bauble. Borble.
Why can't they
Bauble?
call it?
Borble.
They should have called it Senta instead of Santa. Senta.
Santa.
Claus.
Get your picture with
Santa
Santa.
Claus.
A little bit.
Or Sparta Claus.
Sparta Claus, I think, is better.
Sparta
Senta
Cat.
is a little too placenta.
Okay. Yeah. What?
Exactly, right?
Sparta Claus is the best one,
I like Sparta Claus.
you know, but
He has a beard. It's a mane.
he's got a beard and he's got claws.
Sparta Claus.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
Adam.
Sparta Cat is what I'm talking about for anybody who doesn't know.
Yeah.
Is this one free or do they have to pay us for it?
Oh, they don't have to pay. You just call Ian Mendez.
the
Send him
Sens.
the link to this segment. You know? I'm sure he'll love it.
Ian, give me $10.
$10, Ian. Free tickets to the game, Ian. Come on.
Sure.
Yeah. Now, I love this. The NHL's most punchable face. The Athletic did a players poll. And this is really funny. I'm going to start this with a Russian Machine blog post. I'm so glad they're still doing blogs. Nobody's doing blogs anymore.
I love them.
Here's the article. Tom Wilson will no longer have any anonymous targets to hunt down after The Athletic published the results of their latest anonymous player poll. Wilson, who one anonymous respondent listed as having the most punchable face in the league in 23-24, did not appear when players were asked the same question this year. When asked about where he ranked 2 seasons ago, he responded by saying, "I'd probably punch that guy in the face too," which could have been threatening enough to keep him off the most recent list. Now, what is interesting is the most punchable face award went to a guy who I think is generally loathed by NHL players, and you could see it consistently in the comments. It goes to Nick Cousins, followed closely by 2 Florida Panthers. So 1 former Florida Panther, 2 others, Brad Marchand and Matthew Tkachuk. But the quotes on Nick Cousins at 23.4%. So 1 in 4 of every respondent, and there's 107 of them, chose Nick Cousins. And I love this. First one, I don't even know if he's in the league anymore.
Shit.
Second one, he's an effective rat on the ice. He's good at what he does. It's just the way he plays. He's a little rat. He's a diver. I hate divers. I can't stand him. I heard he's a good guy, but I'd still love to punch him in the face. I'd say Nick Cousins. I love the guy. He's a very good friend, but on the ice, for sure a rat. And one player went deep. He said, I have deep respect for the players who have an ability to get under people's skins. I like those guys. For me, the top is Nick Cousins. Everybody hates this guy in the league, but when you play with him, he's one of the best teammates you could ask for. The thing about Cousins is he literally made a career out of it. Brad Marchand could just play. Nick Cousins isn't that good of a player, but he's confident all the time. It's a fucking hard thing to do. He's like, I might be -4 tonight and turn over 12 pucks, but I'm still going to chirp you the whole game. That's next level. So there's like a grudging respect.
That's a gold, silver, and bronze in the backhanded compliments Olympics.
My other favorite one was Joel Eriksson-Ek, who got 4.7%. To be clear, most of these votes were from his own team, the Minnesota Wild, says the Athletic article.
Actually?
Quote, if he wasn't on my team, I'd probably say Ecker, one loyal teammate said.
I like that.
Yeah, it's good.
I was like, what the hell is he doing there?
Brant Clark being on the list at 1.9% is interesting. One player said everyone hates him and wants to punch him in the face.
That's got to be one guy. Has to be, right?
Yeah.
How many players is this? Do we know?
Yeah, 107 out of them.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
107 on that particular one. So I thought that was really good.
Garnet Hathaway being one above Brant Clark. Like, what are we doing? He's annoying. That's all they said. But like, Brad Marchand is a big name in this league. Matthew Tkachuk is a big name in this league. Connor Garland makes millions of dollars. So does Joel Eriksson-Ek, and obviously it was his teammates messing with him. For Nick Cousins to have nearly a quarter of the vote, and that guy's right. Like, he's not an every single day player. Man, people must really hate you.
He's effective at what he does. He's a pesty rat.
And it is
Good for him.
It is his face, right?
I like the list of guys who received 1 vote. Because in there you have punchable people like Connor Bedard, Jonas Siegenthaler,
What?
Logan Cooley, Luke Evangelista, Matt Rempe, okay.
All right.
But
Well, his face has been punched.
what about Matvey Michkov?
Really?
Zach Bolduc.
That's
Zach
such
Bolduc.
a blood feud. Like, who the hell was
These
that?
are all guys who have a 1v1
You know what?
vendetta
That's
against
a-
these other guys.
That's a Jet. That's a Winnipeg
Louis
Jet. that voted for
Crevier?
Bolduc.
Everyone listening to this right now, who does Louis Crevier play for?
I have no idea.
You have 5 seconds.
Who do you
Can't
play
tell.
for, Jesse?
Can't tell you.
I think it's the Lightning. But still,
Oh, well, that makes sense.
that's crazy. Tyler Meyer? Who said Tyler Myers?
Yeah, the 1 vote guys are literally just one guy in the league just doesn't like that guy, which is hilarious.
Mason Marchment getting 1 vote, I got to say, is shocking.
I thought so. I didn't mention Marchment there on the 1 vote guys because I thought he'd have more.
Damn.
Marchment, I could see people not liking.
Bunting?
Oh,
That's-
yeah.
That's a
Marchment
brand name.
for sure. Yeah. The rest
Brady,
of those guys.
Brady too, only 1 vote, but I think
That's because he hasn't been playing.
But they've also gotten the respect out of their peers, where I think other people within the league are like, yeah, the Kachucks, we like them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
so-
got a pod.
yeah.
Eric Holla had to be a Hurricane who said that. Had to be. Because he hates them and they also hate him back.
Matthew
weird
though
one.
third.
Now,
I thought Brady'd make it, but I guess he's just not as punchable as Matthew.
There are some guys who should be mad they're not higher on that list.
Like who?
They're paid.
Like
Bennett?
Mason Marchment has got to look at this list and lock in. I am not being nearly hateable enough.
Bennett at 2.8, but I guess because he's so skilled too, you don't really hate him.
How is Bennett not higher?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I hate him.
Right?
He doesn't even have as many votes as he has people injured over the last 12 months.
Yep. Let's move on to a few other ones because there's some really good questions in here. So we'll start. The article begins with McDavid and Crosby's future. Where will Connor McDavid play in 3 years? once his contract is up. 56.4% said the Oilers, but 10% said the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Ooh.
And 8.2% for the Rangers, 4.5% for the Blackhawks, and 4.5% for the Golden Knights, because, of course, they have to be in there.
I have to be.
Now, moving on to, by the way, one player said, I think he's going to find his way home, for better or worse. So that's what one player said. Sidney Crosby, where will he play next year? 73.7% of NHL respondents said the Pittsburgh Penguins. But that's not 100%.
Okay.
Which it would have been.
Fucking
Montreal
Crosby
Canadiens.
moving propaganda.
Montreal Canadiens at 12.7%. Colorado Avalanche at 11.9%. They'd have to miss the playoffs for that even to be possible, I think.
As long as they're in the mix, I think it's off the table.
The other one I thought you'd find interesting, because I'm not going to blow the whole damn thing for everybody, but does playing in a no income tax state actually matter? Mm-hmm. And you'll be blown away to say that no got 86.3% of the vote.
Oh, fuck off.
I'm lying to you. Yes, got 86.3% of the vote.
Okay, good.
So when Gary Bettman sits across from Paul Bissonnette last year and says, Paul, that's some bad journalism. Paul's not a journalist, okay? And Paul would be the first one to tell you that. But he said, that's some bad journalism and reporting there. NHL players don't care and it doesn't matter. Actually, it does. 86.3% it matters too. That's a fucking lot. And that's 117 respondents. And by the way, how many players play in the league every year? Is it 800?
Roughly.
So you're talking 1 in 8 players answered this. That's a pretty good sample size.
It'd be killer if someone in hockey who had the opportunity to was able to go, that's not true, Gary. Now that we have this information, we can go,
Gary's not.
That's not true.
But Gary's
Gary.
not going to. He's not going to show up on a broadcast, or he's not going to show up on a broadcast that has no NHL rights.
Since 1993, he's been commissioner. The league it's in a hostage situation.
Hey man, you gave Preros a hard time about 9 years in one job. What about Gary?
He
Time to
can
move on,
also
Gary.
Fuck off.
Yeah. So
You're
anyway,
holding back the thing I love.
so
And I wish you would stop.
Here's what's clear to me, guys. And I don't know if you would agree with this, but what's clear to me is when you have a result like that, when it comes to the salary cap, it won't happen in Gary Bettman's time, but post Gary Bettman, something will be done about the income tax.
He should friggin' beat it then.
I don't think something should be done about the income tax thing. I think at some point, somebody needs to educate the players. And if you're an NHL player, don't take offense to this. But somebody needs to explain to the players what is actually going on with the income tax thing and what they think is happening and what the reality is. Because it's not so cut and dry as you play here, your tax and your money goes to different ways. You're only taxed for the games you play in a certain state.
Alan's gone over
We've gone over this a million times, and the loopholes that you can get through to get your money back from the government. It depends on where you live in the off season. Depends on if you're in Canada, you want to hold your money for 10 years at a time and then take it out. There's so many different things going on. I think the majority of NHLers think, oh, I live here, I'm taxed this much at the end of the day. I live in Texas, I live in California, this is what I get taxed, and I want to play in these states because there's less tax in there in the city. But that's just not how these guys work. It's so special, the circumstance and the part of the economy that pro athletes live in, that it's just not so cut and dry as that. And someone somewhere along the line needs to teach hockey players how their money works. Because they don't know.
We did a show on it.
Their
We did
money
a Nature
managers.
Provocateur on that.
Their money managers must rip them off all the time.
Well,
Like
don't
they're
say
just,
that.
They're what? They're not paying attention. They're
I
the
think-
easiest marks out there.
So, but yet, remember, the players have they have the ability to go, I don't want to use a money manager, and they, you know how a 22-year-old looks at $6 or $7 million is not how you 37-year-old Steve would look at $6 or $7
I
million.
know. I'm like, I would get offense.
Yeah, I think at 22-year-olds, like, what do you mean I got to wait 15 years till I retire to see 90% of this?
Yeah.
I'm 22 now, and I'd like to drive a Ferrari, thank you. I'm earning it now. I deserve it now. And 22. But what, like, specifically, I know other agencies have this, isn't special, I don't think, but Octagon has somebody who, depending upon whatever jurisdiction you're in, is able to hide your money away and make sure that you don't have to pay those types of taxes. And it all evens out USA to Canada. They're able to do it for anybody. The problem is, in Canada, you have to hold your money until you're retired. Or a lot of it. And so, like, and then the Canadian government made it worse by going after Tavares and fucking losing.
Yeah, he won that.
Losing.
So is that over?
That's over. Because it was a bonus payment. And they're like, no, it's not.
Right.
And actually, yes, it is. And that was just the CRA going, let's give it a shot.
Money. Yeah. because the money's unlimited because they're the government. They can print more. They were like, let's take a shot and try and get a couple million from JT. And it was brutal stuff.
I think if you're the government and you lose, you suck. Like, whoever made that decision ought to be fired.
Yeah, you made the rules. And what do you mean you lost?
Yeah.
You loser.
Everything is in your favor.
Yeah.
You're the government.
Yeah.
And you
So
lost.
with the 117 or 107 or whatever answered that specific one, we forget that those people responding to that are young men in their maybe early 20s, mid 20s, early 30s who grew up playing hockey all their lives and don't understand money.
Yeah.
Don't
they
really
know
have a high school education?
some of them, they've just gone to boarding, living wherever Canada, and they don't understand these financial stuff. So them just seeing state income tax numbers or Canadian government numbers on their tax, like, they don't understand everything that goes into it. So I feel like they just need an education on it because no other league even talks about this.
Can I counter that?
And they all work by the same system of a salary cap. And it's not a conversation, the MLB, NFL, or NBA.
Let me counter that. What if I don't want the pain in the ass? What if, because here's the thing. When you come to Canada, there are ways to tax shelter and all that stuff. What if I don't, Jesse, want the pain in the ass of having to do that?
Doing what?
Tax shelter.
I think what Adam is saying is the reality is so much more mundane than what you're
Even
saying.
if you educate them, they might just be like, yeah, fuck off. I don't care anyway.
Nah. It's
that's what
okay, so you got to do this and this and that. Nah.
What if I just didn't and I signed in Nashville?
Yeah.
Right?
But even in Nashville, your money isn't your money just in Nashville. And that's what I'm trying to educate the players on.
41 games are on the road.
41 games are on the road. You're in the Western Conference, so there's more California games as opposed to, depending on what division you play in, you could be playing in different states. Also, are you living in Nashville for the rest of the year? Or are you living somewhere else? Where is your home base of income? What if you're a Torontonian, you're Adam Wild, and you're like, I live here all of the rest of the year, but like my state income tax money, I want to play in Nashville.
When I made the money, I made it in Nashville, and that's how they'll tax you.
But you can also get taxed on if you're living 6 months of the year in Toronto.
Yep.
Like it's not simple. It is not a simple thing as, we need to just tax people before or after the salary cap with the state income tax. That's just not how it works on everyday contracts.
Let me counter Jesse again. Hey, Jesse, what kind of student were you?
I was a media student.
You were a media student?
Radio and television arts.
No, I mean...
What were you, mediocre?
Was I a good student? I was a pretty good student.
Yeah, what were your what would be your average?
The last year of my tenure at what is now TMU, I made the dean's list.
Not TMU.
Damn!
Not TMU.
High school.
High school average.
I got like 87 or something.
Okay.
Damn!
Okay, so I'll tell you.
I was a good student.
My average was literally, hilariously, 69.
Okay.
Coming out of high school.
Yeah. Fuck number.
It's the fuck number. And I'm going to tell you something. I had one fucking class drop my mark from like 75 to 69. I'm still pissed about it. But Jesse, you got to imagine the dumbest I've ever been was when I graduated high school. I was smarter in grade 9, 10, and 11. Grade 12, I was the dumbest dummy out there.
What does
And I'm not
that mean?
talking about, hold on. No, let me finish.
No, let me have a private conversation with Jesse for a second. He's telling the truth.
I was stupid. And imagine you had said, you know, here's your rookie deal, Adam. You're 18 years old. You're going to make $1 million this year or just shy of it.
You're 776.
And you didn't hit your Schedule A's or Schedule B's, but you're still hitting 925, Jesse.
Yeah, for 3 years.
Buddy, and then my mom would have called and been like, are you looking after your money? You should probably put your money with a money manager. And I'd be like, yeah, cool, click.
Do you remember your weight loss plan?
Yeah, it was to drink less beer and drink more whiskey, I think, which has so much sugar in it.
What the fuck?
It was
Idiot.
so much more arrogant than that. We were drinking in our buddy's basement, and he just goes, I know how I'm going to lose weight. And you're like, what? You held up a bottle of, I'm pretty sure it was Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Nah, beer. That's what makes you fat, man.
Yeah.
I'm having whiskey.
But I was drinking like 12 at that point.
How
so-
old were you at the time?
It's like 18, 19.
18, 19.
Fuck,
Yeah.
Just a fucking moron.
Yeah.
Right? And like, so
Hanging out with
I
morons,
don't,
too.
I'm not saying that hockey is full of moronic people. I don't know enough
No,
people in hockey.
no.
What I'm saying is at that age, you're a moron. And so you are in a lot of ways, all these guys want is what's the simple action? What's simple? Is this simple? Even if you educate them, Jesse, I still think you still need to do something about this to even it out, because the reality of the situation is the education's out there and they're not taking it.
Why isn't any NBA player ever complain about this?
Because they make so much more
Why hasn't any NFL player ever complained about this?
because they're not in Canada.
What? But there's state income taxes in places.
Yeah, there is.
You're taxed a much higher rate in California as opposed to Texas. Much
think-
lower
Jesse,
in Florida.
The LA
Why
Lakers,
hasn't any MLB player ever complained about
They
this?
make a lot more.
No,
They make a lot
not
more.
the guys who are in the minors coming up and down.
Well, those guys are not the ones making these calls. NHL players, like if you're making $775 in the NHL and you're a tweener, you're Dakota Murmas. You're fucking. I'll take it wherever I go. Right? If you're LeBron, you're making so much money that who fucking cares? Because I can tax shelter.
I don't think
50
people,
of the
I don't
75
think
I'm gonna
people.
make this
I
year.
don't think anybody with $30 million thinks who fucking cares about $1 million.
But you
they
can
care
tax shelter
so
that.
much.
But what I'm saying is that there is an appreciable difference in lifestyle from someone who makes $1 million, believe it or not, and someone who makes 5. Huge.
And
There's not
50.
an appreciable difference between 5 and 20. Is my point. Do you see what I'm saying?
I think every
It
penny
compresses.
matters to these people, and they don't complain about these things.
Well,
They figure it out.
So what do you? So then, if it's not that, I would say
It's
that
just
the
that-
suggestion is that it's something else.
The solutions here of putting something on the salary cap to balance state income taxes or whatever doesn't solve any problem.
Right. And the players seem completely unwilling to solve their own problem. They just had a CBA negotiation and did fuck all about it. And then it
Yeah,
came
that's-
out immediately afterwards that they regretted doing fuck all about it.
Yeah. And
'Cause
I have no sympathy for them whatsoever.
None. But
No sympathy. You had all the power was
you
in your
think
hands. You didn't do anything with it.
86.3%, this will be an issue in the future. Teams will notice this. Players will notice this. This isn't going away, is my point. I agree with all the points you're making, Jess. It doesn't happen in other sports. There are different tax brackets, whatever. I really, really believe that this has become, whether or not it's perceptual, it is real. It's real for these guys. And so if it's real, what's the league going to do about it? Or what are the Canadian teams and teams from New York going to do about it? Because they're the ones with the highest, and I guess California too. Right? The highest tax brackets, right? What are they going to do?
And the Lakers and Dodgers notoriously never get anyone.
Yeah, there's no, the Dodgers, there's no cap.
Yeah, right.
They
And-
should do
and
nothing.
salary deferral.
Is what I'm saying.
You say
The
nothing.
NHL shouldn't do anything about this because the players don't understand what they're complaining about. Alan explained to you that the Toronto Raptors have an advantage because they are taxed differently than the other NBA teams. And they actually, when they bring players over to Canada to play here, there's more money available to those players in Canada.
Didn't the NBA get rid of that, though? Didn't they say they couldn't do that?
Yeah, for the longest time. And it's still like people didn't care or understand.
Yeah. Yeah, there was
And
something the NBA had banned.
I don't think it was the NBA who banned it, did they?
I thought it was. I'll text Alan. I'll find
Yeah,
out.
sure. Anyways, I just think I don't think doing anything here where there's a blanket based on state income tax on salaries or whatever would solve any issues that they think are being solved here.
NBA.
Sure, if somebody says I want to play in Florida for X reasons, you can say, I want to play in Toronto for other reasons. This is just another reason that people want to play in places. Austin Matthews wants to play in Toronto because he's played here for so long in his career and he likes the environment of playing in Toronto and those reasons.
And it's his team.
Right. So, like, what if I wanted to play in Seattle because I like Seattle, the city? That's just one of the reasons that somebody could want to play in a place, is because in my off-season life, in the 41 games I play in Florida, I'm not taxed at whatever rate. What if, like, if the Florida Panthers were still the Florida Panthers of 15 years ago, we had this conversation so many times. They weren't getting players when they sucked just because they didn't have state income tax. They also needed to be good. And then guys also wanted to go there because that adds to the reason of why you want to sign with a team. It's not just because of the state income tax. It's because everything with that, along with the other things. Nobody wants to sign in Buffalo because they suck, not because of New York taxes, but New York taxes are a thing, or amongst the reasons. What if you just hate the snow? What if you hate the owner? You know, it's just another reason.
What if you hate losing?
What if you hate losing?
Yeah. Okay.
Like, build a good winning culture and people will come.
Well, Edmonton's a perfect example of that because nobody wanted to sign there, and now everybody's happy to sign there.
Yeah.
Unless you're Jack Roslovic, and then you're like, no. And then you don't get a team, and you're like, wait.
And then you sign there, and you do really well until you get injured. He was great until he got injured.
If you're gonna try and solve this, then you got to also put every team in one location with the same owner. Like, what if I don't want to play in Edmonton because it's cold?
That would be.
Are we fixing that with the salary cap?
No, we're not.
No.
I would love someone to be like, I don't want to play there because it's hot.
That's an outside factor of the entire league. It's just the reality of the location of the team.
I don't want to play in Anaheim. I hate Disney films.
Yeah. Like, it's just not, it's something that's just happening in everyday life, and we're trying to balance that out with gaining players. When if the Florida Panthers had never made the playoffs in their entire history of their franchise, no one's going there because they don't have state income tax.
Okay.
I'd like to know what % of Florida's all-time playoff wins have come in the last 3 years.
The 99.
It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
They were shocking.
Yep.
Shocking outside of the 96 Cup run.
There was a point in the mid 2010s too. I can remember that it was like, oh, like you'd hear behind the scenes, well, all the Russian guys, they like the hot weather, so they're going to want to sign in California. And Jesse's got a point here. The reason they wanted to sign in California was because all the teams were also very good, right? None of them were
Death
going.
Valley.
None of them were going. Let's go to the Panthers at that point.
If you came out of that road trip with 3 points, you were God.
And this is the thing.
Yeah.
Now it's all switched to Florida because they're a good team and they have the no.
It's just,
tax,
it's
which is
just
nice.
one of the other reasons. You
Yeah.
know? Like, that's what I chalk it up to. It is a thing that players think about. I'm not denying that those 80, what was it, the number, 95% or whatever?
86.3.
86.6% of players are wrong in their own thinking. Like, I want that to be clear. It is a thing amongst players. We all agree that they think like this. And when Gary Bettman's up there saying it's not a factor, he is a lying asshole because that's all he does when he talks to people.
Yep.
Yes.
He's a paid liar.
But
though.
it's not something that the NHL should actively try and fix by manipulating the salary cap towards states' taxes. It is something the players think about, that it can be used in a factor for going places, but is just amongst one of the many things that players think about when they're going to places.
There you go. There you go.
Listen, I know life doesn't end at 70, but the commissioner, being the commissioner into your 70s, fucking please go to the beach or something. Holy shit. Find a hobby. God damn. Build some
I wish I
Legos.
started with that part.
Yeah.
I was just saying, instead of going back and forth.
How about
the
this?
salary
Make
cap.
retirement normal again.
Yeah. Remember retiring?
Remember when people were expected to retire?
Rich people won't do it. Poor people can't do it. Fuck. Remember retirement? Jeez.
All right. Should we wrap it up there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like we should. So anyway, we'll be back on Friday. And remember, Friday morning, STP VIP is available. And tomorrow, we will have a brand new CJ show, probably breaking down some of the stuff we were doing today and whatever happens tonight, too. Anything else?
Retire, George.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection.